All right, I think we're back. It was being a little weird on like my phone because I tried to like get the link to go up, um, so I can like pull it up on my other screen and then also like tweet out the link. I mean, I feel like at this point, like you guys just know where to find me, right? I'm not seeing it on my phone though, which is interesting. And I cannot find it on YouTube. So hopefully it's working. There we go. There we go. All right, I see it up there. Look at that. We're back. Hopefully we will get another good game in this NFC Championship game. First game was very good. It was a little bit low scoring, a little lower scoring than I thought it would be, but very competitive throughout and can't really complain. Saw some good plays. Once again, it's the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. But now we've got another one. We've got Lions and 49ers. The Lions are trying to do the opposite of the Chiefs. They're trying to go to the Super Bowl for the first time in their franchise's history. They're going up against the big bad Niners, who have been in this spot quite a bit. They're like the Chiefs that just can't quite get it done. They've been in the NFC Championship game a lot under Kyle Shanahan. It's still not showing up on my phone. I don't know what's going on here. I've got one person in here right now, and it's me. I don't know why YouTube is being so weird. I got it to show up on my computer at least. There it is. All right, let me just share this link here and tweet it out. But it's time for game 2 of what should be hopefully a pretty epic doubleheader. And you know what? I've actually gone back and forth on who I think is going to win this game. Smart money is definitely on the 49ers. They are 7.5-point favorites, which is a lot. And I get there is like a discrepancy in talent between these two teams, I would say. And you know what? I'm done disrespecting the Lions because I have picked them to lose 2 weeks in a row now, and both weeks they have gone on to win. And I've pointed at maybe their weak secondary or concerns over Jared Goff taking pressure. And yet it hasn't really mattered. And I think it's pretty clear at this point. I mean, it's been clear all season, but I was concerned if they could do it against the big boys. But they have a very cut and dry formula on how they are winning these games, right? Killer offensive line, great running game. Lean on that in the early downs, and they can avoid obvious blitz situations. They don't get into 3rd and 8 very much, which doesn't really allow teams to blitz Goff. And even if they do blitz Goff, they have an absurd collection of blitz beaters, guys that you can just get the ball out to really quick, and if there's open space, they're going to make you pay. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3 just insane outlet guys where, you know what? Yeah, you can maybe dial up pressure against Goff and hope you force him into a mistake. But they've got such a strong infrastructure that blitzing isn't always the greatest idea against the Lions. And then defensively, right, I have harped for weeks now about their secondary and how they've been giving up a lot of yards through the air. Teams have kind of figured out that you can just throw on them. But they also haven't really been giving up a ton of points through the air. And I think it's worth noting that they are a very, very good situational defense. Even though they might give up some big plays or some long drives, they really know how to buckle down in the red zone, and they'll either get a takeaway or a big sack. And I've worried about the depth on their defensive line. I've said, hey, like Aiden Hutchinson is like really the only consistent guy that can get pressure. Aleem McNeil is really good, but he's a lot better against the run. And I've kind of worried about like, you know, hey, like Aiden Hutchinson, like you just kind of need Aiden Hutchinson to save us. And he has 8 sacks in his last 4 games. So when you have a guy who is knocking on the door of being that elite level pass rusher, you're able to be opportunistic. Like when you do get like a deflected pass, it falls into the hands of CJ Gardner-Johnson and you get an interception off of that. So even though their defense on a down-to-down basis hasn't been shut down, it has stepped up when they've needed it to. And then offensively, I mean, their offense is great, really. The only concern is, what if you get pressure on the quarterback? But it's hard to do it's hard to blitz against them and when their offensive line is great. That's how they've been winning, right? And I didn't think that they might be able to do that consistently against the big boys, but they have. They beat the Rams and they beat the Buccaneers, 2 teams with great passing offenses. And it didn't matter. And now they go up against the 49ers, who by all accounts are the best team in the conference. And they kind of survived one last week. They played the Packers, and it took a Jordan Love, Brett Favre moment for them to get out of there with a win. Purdy, who they're showing on the screen right now, was a little shaky in that game and showed that as great as he's been, he's not quite at that level of like a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson, right? But it also showcased the strength of the 49ers as a whole, that they were able to survive a Purdy not so great game and still get out of there with a win. Their defense is extremely talented. There's a few weaknesses that I think the Lions can exploit, but as a whole, it's a very good unit. And their offense is just ridiculous. I mean, the coaching, the skill players, Purdy, when he's locked in, can be pretty good. By all accounts, this is another bad matchup for the Lions, right? There is a big part of me that's tempted to pick Detroit. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was pacing around my room before I went live here to try and figure out who exactly I'm going to take in this game. I still don't know. I lean San Francisco because they're at home. On paper, they just seem like the better team. And but Detroit, what Detroit can do is they can run the ball, and if they can get pressure on Purdy. San Francisco's offensive line is kind of their weak point. They have Trent Williams, but they're not particularly strong outside of that, especially in pass protection. If they can move Aiden Hutchinson around, be creative with him, I could see Aiden Hutchinson having a pretty good game, and that could be a difference maker. And then on offense, we saw this last week. This 49ers team is quietly not very good against the run. Now, it doesn't jump out when you look at, like, their rush yards given up this season, because teams don't really run the ball that much on them because they're usually down against them. But when they do run, they're pretty effective. And last week, the Packers were really able to have their way on the ground. I could totally see a world where the Lions, I could totally see a world where David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs combine for like 175 yards. If the Lions can keep this game close and keep the running game an option, they are 110% in this game. Their defense is going to have to hold up. It's not a given, but they do have some ingredients to make it a game. I do think they will need Aiden Hutchinson a lot in this game. But if he can come alive, if maybe they can force a turnover or two, they can hang around. I really feel like the Lions will either win a close game or the 49ers will win by 10. I really feel like those are the two most likely outcomes. If Purdy shows up and he plays well and he doesn't turn the football over, the 49ers' talent should probably be enough to take them to the Super Bowl. But watch out if the Lions hang around. Watch out. If this game is a one-score game in the fourth quarter, look out. Look out. I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to do it. I'm picking the Lions to win this game. I really think they could come out and win this one. Again, Vegas likes the 49ers by a lot. Conventional wisdom says they probably do win this game. But I think there are ingredients here where the Lions can win this game. I think we're going to see some points. I think this Lions offense is well equipped to stand up to the 49ers. The 49ers don't really blitz a lot. They've got good personnel up front where they can rush for and get pressure. But their pass rush hasn't been quite as dominant this year as in years past. They missed DeMeco Ryans just a little bit. Right? Nick Bosa's been good, but not like defensive player of the year caliber this year. A lot is going to be on the plate of Fred Warner to stop things over the middle of the field. I'm taking a risk here, but I'm picking the Lions to win this game. I'll say Detroit wins 31-28. I really do feel like we are going to see points in this game. I know I said that about last game and we got a 17-10 final score. Give me the Lions on the road to go to the Super Bowl for the first time in their franchise history. And we'll have a rematch if the Lions do win. The first game of the season will also be the last, as well as a rematch of the opening night Week 1 Lions-Chiefs game. I don't know. It doesn't feel right but it also does, if that makes sense. This is their year, right? This is their chance. Obviously, you can say they're playing with house money and they do have a bright future, but man, this is kind of their chance. You cannot take this shot for granted. They have got a shot to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. I'm ready for this game, man. There's a lot more we can dive into once this game gets started, but I'm taking the Lions. I'm taking the underdog again. First time it worked out for me. I took the Chiefs, and they're obviously points spread-wise. They were not as big of an underdog, but I'm taking the Lions. Let's do this. If you guys are in chat, feel free to say hello. Looks like we got 3 people in here, now 2. One of them is definitely me, but let's have another good game of football. So we've got Gabe in here saying, wow, well. I don't know if you missed my whole speech, but believe it or not, talk about unpredictable if you know me, but I am taking the Lions to win this game. Saying, wow, well, this is new. Yeah, definitely uncharted territory for the Lions. Gotta be, well, it is the first conference championship of your lifetime. And they're on the doorstep of their first ever Super Bowl appearance. I mean, just crazy. And Caden in the group chat saying 31-28 Lions. You know what? I stole your flow, man, I guess. I don't know. Let's have a good game, man. Let's get some points. Let's get some fireworks. Here we go. Lions starting with the ball. I missed to see if they chose to have the ball or not. I know that is like a Dan Campbell special. He likes starting with the ball. You know, I like the chutzpah of Dan Campbell to say, you know what, we want the ball first. Gabe saying, let's go. I hope you are right, doctor. Well, here, this is a big test right here. Opening drive, crowd is loud. We're going to learn a lot on this first drive, I think, about maybe let's see what the Lions can do on offense. Here we go. All right. I just have a good feeling about this game, that this one's going to be a good one. Laporta in motion. And look at that. They're going to pitch it to Montgomery. He's got the edge. Solid start there. About 5 yards. That is going to be the key to success. Aaron Jones absolutely shredded the 49ers last week. And, you know, if you take a look at some of the deeper numbers, like EPA per rush allowed, the 49ers are near the bottom of the league. You would be shocked considering the personnel that they have on defense, right? A very strong front four, some good linebackers. But they do not defend the run particularly well. I'd run it again here. They will. There's Montgomery. Big hole, first down and more. I mean, if you're the Lions, run it until they stop you, man. And they've got weapons through the air too. This is a very good, well-constructed offense. When your only weakness really is that your quarterback sometimes struggles against pressure, but you can counteract that by running the ball to not get into obvious blitz situations and having a killer offensive line, it's hard to stop. And we've seen that in the playoffs. Now they'll get Goff on the run. There's Laporta underneath. First down. Ben Johnson deep inside his bag to start things off. 2 runs, 2 good runs, and then play action boot to Sam Laporta. And that is why Ben Johnson might be having a different job at the end of this season. So we've got Parker in here saying, hey, doctor, with a little wave emoji. How's it going, Parker? Good to have you in here. Let's hope for a nice, good game here. And Caden saying, never did I think the Chiefs and underdogs would be in the same sentence. It's true, though, and I'll give my take on that in a little bit, maybe during a commercial break. There's Jameson Williams breaking free. Jameson Williams still going. Touchdown, Lions! Jameson Williams! Unbelievable start for Detroit. Are you kidding me? Stunning scenes here at Santa Clara. And it's the fastest man on the field. A little end around reverse, whatever you want to call it. He just keeps running. He's breaking tackles. They're trying to tear him down by the undershirt, and he takes it in. 4 plays, 7-0. Lions up on top. Oh my goodness. Extra point is up and good. Caden saying Williams has really improved throughout the season. He has, he's had a very rocky start to his career. He was injured his rookie year, and then he came on and he had that one catch in that one game, and then he took his helmet off and didn't get called for a penalty. And then he got suspended for gambling. And now here he is making big plays, and he's not a guy that's going to get like 90 catches in a season, but he's just such an unbelievable threat with the ball in his hands. They are so creative at getting him the ball, whether it's deep shots or little end arounds like that. And that's now like the second or third time we've seen him house an end around this year. I mean, 42 yards and he was not going down. Unreal start for the Lions. Just like that, they're up. Oh, baby. Here we go. Caden saying happy to see it. And Gabe saying, I still owe Henry a Jameson Williams jersey. You would never cheer for a Jameson Williams injury, ever. The underdogs come out barking. Man, 7.5 is a crazy line for this game. Here we go. And just like that, the 49ers are down early. And I tell you what, I am a Brock Purdy defender, and not in the sense where I'm pounding the table screaming that he should be MVP, right? I totally understand that he's a middle-of-the-pack quarterback. I would like to see Purdy do well because I think it is just ridiculous how Brock Purdy, of all people, has become one of the most hated men in the NFL. Like, I've seen so many people say, man, a Brock Purdy Super Bowl would be so bad for the sport. Bad for the sport? Bad? I don't know. I think that Mr. Irrelevant, going from being an afterthought and nearly cut off the team and not even thought about it all, the literal last pick of the draft, going on to win the Super Bowl would be cool, actually. I don't know. Some people just want to see him fail so badly, and I just don't get it. It's like they see a team without a superstar quarterback but still doing well, and because it's wrong, right? I don't know. That's not how it should be. I need my good quarterbacks. I don't know. Gabe says, could you imagine if in that moment you looked at me while I was emoting during the championship and you said, that man is going to score in the NFC Championship for the Lions, Gabe? What a whirlwind it's been for Jameson Williams. It is kind of crazy because in hindsight, Jameson Williams getting hurt in that Bama UGA game probably did turn the tide, pun intended, of that game. It really did. JTWK says, I want to see him fail as a Hawks fan. See, that makes sense. I get that, right? If you're a divisional rival, that totally makes sense. But there are people that have nothing to do with the 49ers or anything. And I think the thing that bugs me the most is it's not even fans or people on Twitter. That's one thing. But there are real respected analysts and journalists, people who honestly, a lot of their work I really respect, but they just have this attitude about Brock Purdy. They're like, yeah, I understand that it's mostly Kyle Shanahan, and I want to tell you every single play, he's bad, right? You know that he's bad. Okay, we get it. You watch all 22. You can still appreciate a good story. I don't know. It gets me going, but... And Caden, since when was it popular to hate on the underdog? Exactly. Man. Also, good start for the Lions' run defense. Alex Anzalone blowing that play up. When Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe back in 2001, and they were going up against the Rams in the Super Bowl, and Brady was this unknown 6th-round pick. I mean, I was 1 year old at the time, but I'm pretty confident no one was saying a Brady Super Bowl would be bad for the sport. I think if that happened now, everyone would be cheering for the Rams. I don't know. Maybe not, but... And yikes, that one is batted down at the line. Well, not a good start for Purdy. And JTWK saying it's probably because he's carried by having 4 different all-pro weapons on offense and another Pro Bowl receiver. And I get that, right? It is true. I'm not even pushing back against some of the criticisms. I just don't think that's a reason to have a vendetta against the man. But I mean, if it's a rivalry, that's totally different, right? I'm going to be honest, I picked the Lions and they're a cool story and I like the Lions, but they're also the Vikings' rival. And there's a lot of me that's like, you know what, man? I would actually be kind of sad if the Lions made a Super Bowl before we did. Purdy floats it. Nice catch by Ayuk. That was big to kind of maybe settle the nerves a little bit. Man, if the Niners would have went 3 and out there, it's early, but the pressure would have been ratcheted up. That was a good, honest pickup right there. They needed that. Gabe saying there's a noticeable cheer when the Lions do something good. Seems like there's a lot of Honolulu blue in the stands here. I mean, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the Lions fans. I get it. Lions bringing some pressure. Purdy going deep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Ayuk had to play defense there. Yikes. That was a little scary. Gabe is saying Lions secondary is suspect. That throw was a little suspect. There was no shot that Ayuk would have come down with that. Yeah, he had to play defense there on Cam Sutton. I get you want to take a shot early, test the secondary. The Lions run a lot of man coverage. And man coverage is really hard to run, even if you have like the best corners in the league. It's just so hard to consistently run man with how good these receivers are now. Purdy drilled as he throws. Caught Debo. First down. Oh, we've got some offenses trading blows here early. There's Aleem McNeil. Hey, I said he's not as much of a pass rusher. There he is, causing some pressure. Debo one-on-one and man. It's not even like that was terrible coverage. It's not like he got burnt there. But it's just so hard to stay with these receivers step for step. You have to get pressure. And the Lions even got pressure there, but the 49ers are still able to pick it up. Debo playing is a big deal. He went down last week, and the 49ers offense was noticeably worse without him. You got to hurry and snap the ball here. Toss to McCaffrey. Lions, ready for it, but McCaffrey stays patient. I will also add, if you're gonna say this Lions defense is suspect against the pass, you also have to give them props for how good they are against the run. And it starts with Aleem McNeil. I mean, he has become a force up the middle. This is one of the best units in the league at stopping the run. This is a fascinating matchup, this 49ers run game versus the Lions rush defense. 2nd and 8. Debo in the slot. They circled the guy on him right there. There's McCaffrey again. And he just stays with it, man. You know, Christian McCaffrey I honestly think he's gotten better as a runner this year. Like, he just looks more comfortable now in this 49ers offense. He looks a little more patient, and he's always been a good runner. I think there was a point in his career where he was almost underrated as a runner. Like, he's had 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons now. He went for like 1,300 yards with the Panthers back in 2019. But his patience and just doing a lot of the more boring stuff as a running back, he has gotten so good at. And it's not a surprise in hindsight this year that he led the league in rushing yards in this Kyle Shanahan offense with how good he is. And the 49ers pass protection is a little shaky, but their run blocking is quite good. CB's in here. How's it going, CB? Saying, hey, Doc, hope you are well. I'm well. How about you? Good to have you back in here. Sorry about the Packers last week, but you know what? Future is bright for the Packers, I gotta say. You took the 49ers to the ropes. Can't complain about that. And JTWK saying, I may hate the 49ers more than anything, but McCaffrey deserves MVP over anyone else. I think you could make a very compelling argument for that, right? He led the NFL in yards from scrimmage. I believe he led the NFL in total touchdowns too. He is the engine that makes this offense go. And if you go look at the splits of this 49ers offense from last year, right, the 8 games before they got McCaffrey to now, I mean, you can clearly tell when he joined the team, because even though they were able to get good production out of guys like Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert, McCaffrey just presents an entirely different matchup problem. I would definitely have McCaffrey in my top 3 if I was a voter. I might lean Lamar or Josh, and it's tough, right? Because this year would have been a good year to give it to a non-QB. It's just MVP is so inherently set towards the quarterback position. I guess the only argument, the biggest argument that I would make against CMC MVP, fair or not, is who would be in worse shape if you took CMC off the 49ers or if you took Lamar off the Ravens? Like, who would be worse off? I mean, it would be the Ravens. But he's had an incredibly good season, and you could make the argument. Gabe saying, do you have any soft spots for the Lions because of your fandom for them, or is it on site because of the divisional silly business? I mean, I don't personally hate them. Like, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep tonight if they win, honestly. Like, there's a part of me that's like, I can empathize with like what Lions fans have been through, and just a year like this has got to feel so good. And honestly, like, they are a pretty sick team, just like the way that they're built, right? They're built through the offensive line and the running game, and they've got this giant tight end from Iowa. Like, it is pretty sick how they're like, you know what, we are going to take a running back at 8 and stuff like that. Or not 8, 12, but same idea. But also, divisional rivalry still means something in my heart. But I get that. CB saying, I'm good. Sore from skiing yesterday. Falling doesn't feel like it used to. Oh, nice. You went skiing. Enjoying the nice winter weather. It's been very warm here in Fargo. A lot of the snow has actually melted the past few days. Might be difficult for me to ski. Also on account of I've skied like once in my life. JTWK saying, McCaffrey is literally the perfect player for Kyle's offense. I mean, he is, right? And you can put him darn near anywhere. You can line him up at wide receiver. You can put him in the slot. You can put him in the backfield. It just puts defenses in such a mental pretzel. You don't know what he's going to do. Lions ready for that one. Gabe saying, dude, that is so cool. Oh, yeah. Gotta love skiing. So the Lions are trying to outgap the 49ers here. How they're lined up right now pretty much screams we are going to sell out to take away the run, right? They've got an 8-man box. You don't see that too often unless they're like blitzing, but they've got 5 down linemen and then 3 linebackers, or at least 3 guys in the box. Doesn't always have to be a linebacker, but here they are again. I guess this is only a 7-man box, but you see a lot of 6-man boxes. That one's batted up. Is that Hutchinson? 3rd and long. And this is where the Lions want to live. Gabe says, I think Kirk Cousins is the perfect player for Kyle. He is. Kirk Cousins is like unironically Kyle Shanahan's favorite quarterback. I don't know if I've told this story before, but Kyle Shanahan was with Washington the year they drafted RG3 and Kirk. Because remember, they drafted him in the same draft class. And Dan Snyder, their owner, wanted RG3. Kyle Shanahan and the coaching staff wanted Kirk. And their deal was that they draft both of them. But he always wanted Kirk. Here's a big 3rd and 11. And there's CMC, and he's not going to get the first. As soon as he caught the ball, there was lines there for instant impact. He's going to be down at about the 30. It'll set up 3rd and medium. And the 49ers will definitely kick it here. I think some teams would consider going for it. Kyle Shanahan is very old school when it comes to stuff like going for it or being aggressive. And it makes sense because he comes from a football family. His dad is Mike Shanahan, who coached like in the 80s and 90s. So it is kind of hilarious how all these Shanahan tree guys are brilliant offensive innovators, just like some of the most forward-thinking minds when it comes to offensive scheme. But when it comes to like analytics or like going for it, as he misses it, he missed it. Jake Moody missing it against his favorite team. The kid from Michigan who grew up cheering for the Lions shanks a 48-yarder and it's 7-0. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I saw a tweet somewhere, and I mean, this was just silly speculation. And in no way am I suggesting this whatsoever, because I think that would just be ridiculous to say. But I saw a tweet this week where there was an interview clip. Some reporter asked Jake Moody about, like, were you a Lions fan growing up, right? Like, from Michigan. And, like, he just seems like a more shy, awkward guy. Obviously, I don't know him, but, like, he looked almost like a little uncomfortable when they asked him that question, and he almost like smiled, and someone was like, he's definitely missing a kick in this next game. I wonder what that person is thinking right now. But I'm not suggesting he missed it on purpose, but JTWK saying the 49ers would never lose a game with Kirk at QB. I certainly think they would, at bare minimum, be as good as they are now. They would probably be better. I mean, what does Kirk like to do? He likes to get under center, he likes play action, and he likes attacking the middle of the field. That is Kyle Shanahan's dream man right there. And that's why I've been maybe speculating a little bit recklessly on Kirk to the Falcons after the Falcons just hired Zach Robinson as their offensive coordinator. Served under Sean McVay, comes from the Shanahan tree. Again, he might just stay put, but I think if he does leave Minnesota, he goes to the Falcons. They would be a good fit for him. Gabe saying, Hutchinson is a monster. Hutch doesn't get a lot of sacks, but he is so freaking insane. I mean, he has 8 sacks in the last 4 games, and he's up there amongst the league leaders for pressures. He has taken a step forward this year. He has already become a better player than I thought he could be. He is turning into an alpha dog level pass rusher. I'm loving the chat, by the way. It's popping in here. I love it. Gabe saying, I know I'm go blue. He missed it. That is huge. Go blue. And Henry saying, let's go too. I know Henry's been aboard the Lions train for a few years now. I remember year after year, Henry would say, you know what, Gabe? This is the year that the Lions really make some noise. You were not wrong. You were just early, my friend. Here are the Lions making noise in the NFC Championship game. JTWK saying, to be fair, RG3 would have had an amazing career had it not been for injury. Oh, absolutely. Dan Snyder ruined that man, right? He pushed him to play in that playoff game, and then he injured his knee again in the wild card game versus Seattle. It is a shame what happened to him because he was electric. And the Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, all them, completely, not completely reinvented, but they merged aspects of the offense RG3 ran at Baylor with their scheme, and their run game was just disgusting. Mixing zone runs with the read option, I mean, it was incredible. They were such a fun team, and it is a shame that RG3 got derailed by injuries because he would have been deadly had he kept playing with that coaching staff, I think. Henry saying, I saw the vision. And Game Solved, who's in here. Welcome to the stream, Games. Good to have you back in here. Saying the Super Bowl logo, or farewell to the Super Bowl logo conspiracy. You're absolutely right. And I have my own theory. There's purple in there, right? The purple was supposed to be the Vikings, but then Kirk got hurt and that, the NFL script wasn't prepared for that. The Vikings went off script when Kirk got hurt. It was supposed to be Vikings 49ers. Wait, no, Vikings Chiefs, because Chiefs are red. That was supposed to be the script, but Kirk got hurt. They were supposed to be the purple team, not the Ravens. That's why the logo is purple again next year, according to the leaks. I don't know if that's actually the actual logo or not, but I saw it was purple and green, so get ready for Vikings Jets next year. Rodgers comes back from injury. Kirk comes back from injury. They planned ahead. They wanted to get people off their trail. Maybe Kirk's injury was a part of it, and they just wanted to get people off the scent. Henry saying, I saw the vision, and job's not finished. Gabe saying, yes, sir. I mean, there's a lot of game left. Lions looking good early, though. 2nd and 6. Again, if you run the ball well, you can stay out of those 3rd and longs, and you can't just pin your ears back and blitz Goff. Play action. And a nice little outlet. There's David Montgomery. It is truly insane, the absolute war chest of weapons that the Lions have. CV saying, don't you mean Packers versus Ravens? Yeah, I mean, they are a green team. I like to believe mine, though. We'll see. NFC North is going to be interesting next year. We'll have a very different view on this division, I think, a year from now, because there are some big off seasons coming up for some teams in the NFC North. See a few more things in here. I'll get to that here after this 1st and 10. Goff, short arm that one to Gibbs. Might have had a few yards there, but not much. 1st and completion on the game for Goff. Been looking strong so far. Gabe says, it is nuts to take a look at this roster building. No one wanted to go to Detroit, and their biggest impact players are all through the draft. I mean, I I love Dan Campbell. I think he's done an incredible job, but I think you have to give just as much credit, if not more, to Brad Holmes for where the Lions are right now, because he has knocked what, like 3 straight drafts just absolutely out of the park. It's that Rams department, man, right? They got like the lead scout from the Rams. They're like, the Rams have been really good at drafting. Maybe we should get their best scout and have him be our GM. And what do you know? He's continuing to kill it. JTWK saying that 2012 QB class was so stacked looking back, but so many of them have been ruined by injury. Russ and Kirk are the only ones left playing on a good level and haven't had career nagging injuries. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Luck, what could have been, right? Even Russ has been banged up by injury a little bit. And Kirk just got hurt this year. But a very, very strong class. 3rd and 9. They'll dump it off to St. Brown, who's got blockers on the first down. Good. I mean, another good play design right there by future commander Ben Johnson, potentially. Oh, I mean, when you have a freak athlete like Penei Sewell that you can just like swing him out so quickly and get him on the move, Kyle Shanahan is shaking his head like, no, that's what I used to do with Trent. I mean, that is terrifying. Believe me, I know all about the versatility and athleticism of Penei Sewell. I've seen it. Another 1st and 10. Goff, with plenty of time, has to get rid of it. Fred Warner was kind of there. If you're the 49ers, you got to hold them to 3 here. Gabe says, good news for the Falcons. Couple of Rams boys in there. I mean, we know my love affair with the Rams at this point, right? I don't know. They are an incredibly well-run organization. It would not shock me to see the Rams in this game a year from now. That's what I'll say. I'll talk more about that maybe during a commercial break. A little teaser. But there's Gibbs bouncing it outside. He's just so hard to bring down. 1st down. Jahmyr Gibbs might lead the league in making defenders look silly. You know what's crazy, man? Is what the Lions had Gibbs over Bijan on their board, right? And this is not even a knock on Bijan, because I thought that Bijan, all things considered, was excellent this year. I thought that he more or less lived up to the hype. And the Falcons didn't do him any favors, but he was pretty good. And he showed that he's obviously a very talented player. The Lions might have been onto something when they had Gibbs over him, though. Gibbs just looks different. And he's only gotten better. Now they'll go to Montgomery. Thunder and lightning. Montgomery pounding forward. I will admit, I am extremely jealous of the Lions, right? Because they're exactly what I want the Vikings to be. They're an extremely well-built team through the draft that plays a tough brand of football. They will kick your teeth in, and they're winning a lot of games. And they're the feel-good underdog story. They are exactly what I want the Vikings to be. So I think that some of my, I won't say anti-Lions, but a lot of it is rooted in jealousy. Absolutely. I wish the Vikings were the Lions, which is a wild statement to say. They're about to score again here. Yep, Montgomery just drives it in. Touchdown Lions. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. And it is shocking scenes here early at Levi Stadium. Unbelievable. 14-0. I mean, I just peeked at my screen. I see that it's 14-0, but man. He just drives his legs in. Dre Greenlaw, one of the best linebackers in the league. Can't stop him. Barry Sanders, loving it. Barry Sanders not getting too excited, though. Like a true Lion. He's being stoic. He's like, there's a lot of game left. That is a man that is that is a lion right there. I have to catch up with chat here for a little bit. Gabe saying, bro, I interned with this team in the offseason. Isn't that crazy? Oh, that's sick. They got a watch party going on at Ford Field. JTWK saying, not to mention Ryan Tannehill, RG3, Johnny Manziel, and the man Brandon Weeden, the 28-year-old rookie. That stupid catch last year. Poor doctor. And JTWK saying, lying about Johnny Manziel. Yeah, he was 2014, I believe, right? Epic bust. Massive whiff. Mike Evans Merchant. Gabe saying the best part about all this is Michigan won the national championship. Yeah. Some people just have everything. Oh, I had 2 teams make the playoffs, and Michigan won the national championship, and the Tigers are going to win the World Series next. You have to give credit to David Montgomery pick for why Gibbs is so successful. Yeah, he's just been a better Jamal Williams, really. I was one of the people that was like, really, David Montgomery? Yeah, he's been good. JTWK saying Gibbs is so similar to Kenneth Walker. They both run in such a unique way. I wish the Hawks used Walker more. He'll average 5 yards a carry and get 10 carries. Kenny Walker is electric in the open field. He is a fun running back to watch. He does have a very unique running style, and he doesn't go north-south a lot, but man, it is a pleasure to watch. They drafted Zach Charbonnet. How did Charbonnet do this year? I didn't keep up with him too much, but I feel like they've limited Kenny Walker's workload a little bit. Game Solves asked, how much longer do you see Kirk Cousins starting for the Vikings? I would say 2 years max, probably, depending on how he looks, right? I think if the Vikings do bring him back, we're not looking at a very long contract. It could even be a 1-year deal, right? And, people can say like, oh, 1-year deal and then have him bridge the gap to the next QB. But I think if you bring him back for a 1-year deal and he plays well, it's tough to move on. It is, even though he's getting older. The Vikings are in such a tough spot with their quarterback situation right now because there's no obvious or easy answer. And it's just a tough situation. You can stick with Kirk, but then you got to just commit to like loading up and being as good as you can for the next 1 to 2 years while you have him. I am hesitant to extend Kirk and then draft a QB because you kind of find yourself in the middle ground again, right? Because if you bring back Kirk, you have faith that he's going to be good again and that you can compete for a playoff spot. And even though you'd have this rookie QB, you'd sit him on the bench. Part of me doesn't like the idea of wasting one of the years of their rookie contract while they're cheap. That's one of the advantages of taking a rookie QB, right? You save a lot of money. And then year 2 is really like their rookie year. And then by year 3, you kind of have to decide whether you want to give them a second contract or not. And what if they get hurt like Trey Lance and all of a sudden like they've barely played and it's year 3 and you don't know what you have and you have to move on. If we're going to draft a rookie QB, I'd much rather just, you know what? Play. Maybe you're bad year 1, whatever. Josh Allen was terrible his first year and he turned out fine. Like Anthony Richardson was up and down. Granted, he only played 4 games, but like he might figure it out. It's tough. It's tough. I remember when everyone was so confused why we let Jamal go and got Monty. You can't have success without them. Yeah, nice little power back. JTWK saying the Red Wings are a sleeper team in the NHL too. I remember when Walker scored 5 against Michigan while I was watching at a Jacksonville pizza parlor. Yeah, with that one guy. I forgot his name. I feel bad. He's a funny guy. Niners are going to start with a little run to Debo. Okay, little jet touch pass. Might actually count as a pass technically, but get the ball in Debo's hands right. Set yourself up for 2nd and 4. I guess he went out of bounds, but JTWK saying Charbonnet was inconsistent and they decided to use DJ Dallas over Kenny McIntosh. I do remember hearing DJ Dallas's name a lot. And yeah, the Packers are going to have to pay Jordan Love big bucks after one great year. It's tough, and I would say it's worth it because he looked that good. But it is tough. You have 1 year to decide. Purdy taking a shot wide open, Juszczyk. There's the Swiss Army knife. Maybe the most versatile player in football, Kyle Juszczyk. The Ivy League fullback getting wide open. And there's that play action boot. And everyone thinks Juszczyk is going to be a blocker. It's going to be a run. And he just sneaks out, finds the open field. You get Purdy on the move. He's got a clear field of vision. That's why this play action works. It's not just the deception. You give the quarterback a lot more space to see the field. And it helps when you have a fullback that can just as easily blow you up in the run game or go win on a route downfield. I mean, this 49ers team is so cool, man. Honestly, both these teams are just so well built. They are a little bit of a throwback to a different time of football. And for as much as people want to be like, oh, it's Goff versus Purdy. No, it's the Lions versus the 49ers. This is real ball right here. JTWK saying he's not even the most versatile player on his offense. I mean, yeah, you could argue Debo, but I don't know. Juszczyk does so much. Like, you could totally say like Debo or McCaffrey, but I don't know. Juszczyk can block, he can run, and he can receive, all at a very high level. If you go look at like Juszczyk's snap counts at every position, it's pretty evenly distributed. But you could definitely make an argument for Debo or McCaffrey or Kittle, because Kittle is like an all-pro level blocker and receiver. But we got a little chippiness here. We saw a lot of that in the previous game. Now a little bit right here. 3rd and 2. Kittle starting in the backfield. Now a motion in line. They'll just give it to McCaffrey. He's got it. 1st down. I'm arguing McCaffrey, his pass blocking is underrated. All right, you know what? I'll give you that. He is pretty good in pass pro. I will give you that. Nice little exchange of ideas here on the Ideal Marketplace. I love it. Good first quarter. 14-0, all Lions. 49ers have been moving the ball, but the Lions, they forced the missed kick. Niners have a good drive going here. They got to get points, though, because the Lions' offense has looked unreal so far. Gabe saying, you don't really see McCaffrey emote. No, I guess not. I don't really keep track of that, but fair point. First quarter, how are we feeling, chat? I'm loving the heavy participation here. This has been awesome. I picked the Lions to win a close one. I did not think they were going to get shot out of a cannon like this. Well, maybe a little bit, but 14-0 after 1 is crazy. Let's take a look at the first quarter stats while we have a little bit of time. 49ers slight edge at time of possession. Lions outgaining them. Makes sense. 49ers, I guess, have gone on longer drives. I mean, that first drive was just so quick. Instant. Gabe says, I'm feeling good, but understand it's a long freaking game. It is a long freaking game. And it's worth noting that the 49ers, they will get the ball to start the second half, right? So they have, I might come up with a better term for this, but they have a possession in hand. Like, you know how in soccer, like sometimes like one team will have played like an extra match than the other. And so even though like Arsenal might have 2 more points than Manchester United, Arsenal's played 1 more game. So Man United has a game in hand. The 49ers have a possession in hand because they will get that extra possession when they start the second half. So if they can score here, right, and then keep it at a 7-point game, come start of the second half, they can control their own destiny and tie it back up. That's how I describe it. I don't know. There's maybe a better way, but I kind of like it. Possession in hand. Like, you'd much rather have this than the other way around. Oh, absolutely. I think this was like the Lions' game plan, right? If the Lions went down 14-0 early and that starts to take away the running game, then I would be very concerned. But this is a team that, I mean, all teams are at their best when they're leading, but like this team in particular is built to play from ahead and just grind it out and make you mad and frustrated while you try and come back. Look at George Kittle blocking Aiden Hutchinson there. Oh my gosh. I mean, George Kittle is not just a good blocker for a tight end. He is legitimately one of the best run blockers in the league. Like, I truly believe that opinion. Parker saying Lions, baby. JTWK saying, well, if the Lions keep scoring, they don't got to worry about a comeback. Oh, I mean, absolutely, right? Like, you can say all that, but first the 49ers got to stop them on defense. McCaffrey breaking away on the catch and run. He's still going, fighting for extra yards, being pushed forward and out of bounds. Christian McCaffrey coming to life. Very underrated power. Look at the stiff arm on CJ Gardner-Johnson. Whoo, whoo, whoo. Gabe's saying there's a stat out there. Every single game that Greg Olsen has called for the Lions has been a loss. Oh, kind of like the Vikings with Tony Romo. The Vikings have never won a game called by Tony Romo. Gabe saying Rutrow. Well, here we go. 49ers now inside the red zone for the first time today. Juszczyk. They give it to Juszczyk on the handoff. I think Kyle was trying to pull a fast one there and score with Juszczyk. They'll take like the 4 or 5 yards though. But the Lions were able to react quickly and wrap him up before he could get in. Now I think they're going to take him out. Yeah, Hutchinson and Kittle were having a laugh. That's good to see, right? Out there having fun. Play action here maybe. Roll Purdy out to the right. Try and get a quick throw for a touchdown. No, they'll just run it. Touchdown. Touchdown CMC. And his good playoff run has continued. The 49ers are back in it. That was a big response from them. They needed that to kind of calm things down a little bit. That was a classic 49ers drive. Here we go. We've got a game. Yeah. That was a good drive. 8 plays, 75 yards, less than 4 minutes. Now, if you're the 49ers, you gotta start getting some stops on defense. You've had no answers so far. They've been running the ball at will. Goff has been getting that ball out quickly. Diced up. I mean, they were clearly watching the Packers game last week. I mean, no duh, but you can absolutely run the football on this 49ers team. I mean, what are the rushing yards like right now for the Lions? Some of that is boosted by the Jameson touchdown, but even if you take that away, still 40-plus yards. I mean, they've got 10 a pop right now. Both Montgomery and Gibbs are over 6 yards a carry. And last week, I mean, how many yards did they give up last week? It was well over 100 to Aaron Jones. I know that. Yeah, Jones went for 108, so maybe not well over 100, but Green Bay went for 136. You can absolutely run on this team. It doesn't make sense when you look at their roster, but it's true. Good game so far. Already almost more points than the previous game. Last game gave us 27 total points. This one so far, we've already got 21. Yeah. How ironic, right? Like the two marquee quarterbacks both scored under 20, and now here we are, Purdy and Goff, at least Purdy and Goff led teams trading blows. This is the National Football League, not the Society of Elite Quarterbacks. I like to act like I'm a 50-year-old dad sometimes as a football fan. I fully recognize I am a 23-year-old kid. I was not even alive in the 1900s. But you know what? I grew up with NFL films and Sports Illustrated's The Football Book. This is the kind of football I like. I mean, I do like offensive football too. Don't get me wrong. Like 42 to 40 games are sick. They are. I'm not even complaining about that. But I like the brand that these two teams play. We've got a new one in here. Diehard Steelers fan saying, "Hi, I'm new." Well, welcome to the stream. Good to have you in here. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday night here. We've got a good game on our hands so far, and hope you can stick around a little bit and watch along with us. Everyone give a nice, warm Dr. Pigskin welcome to Diehard Steelers fan. JTWK saying, "Well, if Mike Macdonald goes to the Seahawks, I'm going to be so happy he shut out Mahomes in the second half." Yeah, I mean, he is that guy, absolutely, right? Probably the best defensive coordinator this season. And it's not even just that they shut out Mahomes in the second half, but also, I don't know how much you keep with Mina Kimes, fellow Seahawks fan, but she has said many times another big thing that would be good for Seattle should they get Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald has had an insane track record of success against the Shanahan-McVay offense. You know, they went 3-0 against Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Mike McDaniel. Also beat Bobby Slowick twice, who runs a similar scheme. If you're the Seahawks, you're playing Shanahan and McVay 4 times a year. So having a guy like Mike Macdonald, whose scheme is uniquely designed to take away the middle of the field and a lot of the stuff that those teams want to do, is a pretty good thing to have. Saying Mina Kimes is my spirit animal. Yeah, listen to her podcast a lot. Good insight. And Nodak Hoya saying 50-year-old dad. I like to think I am sometimes. I really do. I am not, for the record, a father. But I watch football like one. That is my dad, by the way, for those that don't know, who is around that age, I will say, without aging him. There goes David Montgomery. Another big run. I mean, there's just no answer for it right now. Just dominating on the ground. JTWK saying, my brother is a diehard Steelers fan. I know a fair amount of Steelers fans for someone that grew up in North Dakota. And also I know one from my days at the University of Georgia, actually. Shout out Michael Doty, friend of the channel. Maybe he'll tune in later. Fellow UGA sports media alum. Yeah, she was. She was there with NFL Live. That's right. Oh, they're going to do a double pass. Goff going deep down the field. And it's short. Oh. Well short of Josh Reynolds. I like the idea, though. That was a solid idea. The little double pass, try and get a big play. I mean, look at how stacked the Niners box is. Only one high safety. Don't see that too often. They've been running it. And they had it. I mean, it would have been an unbelievable throw. Reynolds had separation, but Goff would have had to unleash the hounds. That's the throw that, like, maybe only Josh Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Stafford can make, you know? Goff will rip that one, though. Oh, popped out. Hard hit. Decent throw by Goff, it looked like. I mean, he had to rip that one down the middle of the field, but a host of 49ers there. No way. No way. Your brother is Michael Doty. Yeah, you are a Seahawks fan. That's right. Welcome to the stream, Jack. Good to have you in here. That's crazy. I had no idea. Wow. How you doing, man? That's awesome. Of course. Oh, that's awesome. It's a small world. There's Amon-Ra. Breaks a tackle. He got it. He got the first. Fired up. Good job after the catch. 49ers had to have him there. Wow, that's crazy. Well, look at that. We've got a nice representation of different fan bases now. We've got a Seahawks fan, we've got a Lions fan, Vikings fan, Steelers fan. We've got a lot of Packers fans on this channel. A few Vikings fans. It's actually kind of crazy. I don't think that the Vikings are the most represented team on this channel, which is ironic considering that I'm Mr. Vikings, but there's Montgomery again. Good tackle. Whoo-hoo. Took him down behind the line. Gabe saying, let's go, a fellow Doty. Oh, that's awesome. Second and 10. All right. Look at that. Even split so far. 10 rushes, 10 passes. '49ers bringing pressure. And Goff goes down. There's Nick Bosa. Storming Goff. Third down and long now. And this is a situation, this is a spot where the Lions don't find themselves very often. Bosa against Sewell, kind of. I think Sewell's assignment was maybe something else. Maybe he thought that the running back was going to pick him up there. You can't let Nick Bosa go unblocked like that. Maybe some miscommunication. My first instinct is there's no way Sewell's that bad, right? That was not a product of Sewell being bad. Just something happened, something broke down. 3rd and 15. 49ers rush 4. Underneath the Laporta. What a hit. Dre Greenlaw hitting Laporta like he would Big Dom. Oh, and he's shaken up, holding his leg. Uh-oh. And that is a problem for the 49ers. Ugh. For a team that has struggled against the run, and for a team like the Lions who like to go to their tight ends, you cannot really afford to lose guys down the middle of the field like that. I mean, Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are like the glue that hold together this spine of the 49ers defense. Big stop here for the 49ers, but a lot of people going to be monitoring this situation now. Dre Greenlaw's health does not look good. Lions do go for it a lot. They're like the polar opposite of the 49ers. Dan Campbell will go for it with reckless abandon, which is a lot of fun. I don't think they're going to fake it here, right? It's 4th and 6. They are in 49ers territory. The Niners are ready for the fake. I mean, they're playing a very safe formation. Yeah. I tell you what, though, if they just came out in like their base punt return formation, if they didn't have those guys covering the middle of the field, I would not put it past the Lions to fake it whatsoever. Cannot stand Fred Warner. He is so soft. I respect Greenlaw, though. I will say Fred Warner is a very good linebacker. He's not as good against the run as some people might think. He is an exceptional coverage linebacker, but he can get thrown around a little bit. He is a little bit smaller. He's a lot like Eric Kendricks in that fashion, where like he's not like a Dick Butkus by any means. Respect Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw is a tough son of a gun. He is a throwback of a linebacker. He's the kind of guy that the Lions hope Jack Campbell would turn into, you know, just downhill, will blow you up in your face mask. But a big stop there for the Niners defense. They get the ball back. Offense looked pretty good in their previous drive. They moved the ball decently well the drive before that. They just weren't able to get any points off the miss, but things have started, the dust has started to settle down a little bit here now. The 49ers have to feel a little bit better now. Down 14-0, obviously it's early. That's where you really get your championship medal tested, right? There are some teams, they go down 14-0, they might fold. We're about to see if the 49ers fold or not. They have not folded so far. Fred Warner will make the dirtiest plays and find a way to play victim. Ah, yes. Classic. Nice little jawing back and forth. I will say I'm not familiar with Fred Warner enough to refute. I don't know if refute is the right word there, but I will take your word for it. You probably watch more 49ers football than I do. I think every team's got like one of those guys, right, that just gets you going. For me, I've got a few now, actually. One of them is in this game, I will admit. I think you guys probably know there is a certain player on the Lions that Vikings fans don't like. Part of me thinks it is a little silly, like it is just coincidental, but Vikings fans do not like Kirby Joseph that much. You know? Matthew Stafford, he said something that a lot of Vikings fans resonated with. I would say Jair Alexander is not beloved by Vikings fans either. Not really anyone like that on the Bears that I can think of right now, but it has been fascinating to see this war that has developed between the Vikings and Lions fan base. It is kind of amusing, I will say, and part of me is like, you know, but Kirby Joseph. You know, there was a sign last week, and I see both sides of the argument. I don't know. You guys probably know what sign I'm talking about. To make the sign is one thing, and you can say the speech or whatever, and I totally get that. I guess what I'll say is, why are the Vikings on there if it's a playoff sign? The Vikings were not in the playoffs. The Vikings didn't even finish second in the division. The Packers did. Why are we one of the kneecaps, huh? That's crazy. And the Rams are the other kneecap? Interesting. Oh, and the NFL's going to post it? He did have an elite Sunday Night Football intro last year. The whole team did. Remember Jamal Williams? Debo still going. First down. So that's twice now they've given him the ball as a runner. The 49ers don't do that quite as much anymore. They don't really line him up in the backfield that much. They give him like maybe a few carries a month because he is so good with the ball in his hands, and you do want to, one, put that on film, and two, reap the benefits of it because he's very good at running. But a few years ago when he got his new deal, he was like, you know, I don't really want to be getting all these carries. And I totally get it because you take a lot of hits. You see what happens to some of the running backs. And he is a good wide receiver at the end of the day. So put him at wide receiver. It would be cool if we could go back to 2021 mode, though, where he's just like getting 10, 15 carries a game. But especially with CMC now, you can't do that. They use him a lot as a decoy in the backfield, honestly, because you do have to account for it. And maybe you throw it to him out of the backfield. All of a sudden, you got to put a linebacker or safety on him. That's a mismatch. The days of Debo rushing for 100 yards are gone, though, sadly. That was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. First Swag Kazakaki, leader of the hidden village of the Den. Purdy. Pocket collapsing. Oh, Ayuk nearly made a sick catch. Third down and long, though. Lions getting pressure here. They're kind of, at least on passing downs, they are winning in the trenches. Look at this push that they get. Purdy can't step into that throw. This Lions pass rush has looked solid so far. And that is their biggest strength. That and their run defense are their biggest strengths. Third and long. 5 pressures on 12 dropbacks. 0 sacks, but under pressure almost half the time. There's another pressure. Pocket collapsing. Intercepted! It's intercepted! Purdy in a collapsing pocket fires one right into the hands of Malcolm Rodriguez. And the Lions are going to take over in 49ers territory, but hold on, there's a flag. Hold on a sec. We'll see. Referees are talking. They're hinting at maybe during the return or after the interception. We'll see. All the Lions fans are conditioned to think the refs are going to get them, which is probably fair. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely a block after the return. Yeah, that is a pick. Big pick for the Lions. And look at that. There's the pressure. Look at Hutchinson. And I couldn't quite see who else that was, but Purdy has 0 space to step up in that pocket. And he just has to fire that ball, and he floats it. His hand gets hit. And, oh, yeah. I mean, Debo definitely sold that a little bit. Debo definitely went down a little easy, but Lions get that turnover. Well, what did we talk about, right? They got to get turnovers on defense. There's one. They take over in Niners territory even after the penalty. Can they make it count? Here's Gibbs. There's Warner, and Fred Warner heard me talking crazy on his name. I said he's not that good against the run, and there he is in the backfield for a loss of like 6. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at Fred Warner making one good play and acting like he's the king of the world. It is a pretty good play, though, you got to admit, right? He just crashes down. He's so fast. His speed is... Oh, well. There's a little face mask grab there. Oh, got away with one. Henry saying, gotta capitalize here for 7, and the Lions are bearing down. They're bearing down like it's midterms. There's Laporta. Big gain, and oh my gosh, they get it back. They get the first down. That's CJ Gardner-Johnson. Yikes. Wow. Look at that. They just find the hole in the zone, and Laporta, back to full health, able to cook after the catch. First down. Easy 15 yards. I mean, it looks easy. Could make that tackle in my sleep. I just don't have the cameras on. Fair enough. I like it. Sam Laporta kind of sexy. All right. From the 35. Gibbs. Not much. About halfway here through the second quarter now. Man. Detroit looks pretty good. Dr. Pigskin is kind of sexy. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. Goff with time. Oh, nearly intercepted, but St. Brown makes the catch. Fired that one right in there, and Amon-Ra has been very good so far. That was a tough throw to make. Squeezed it in there. Whew. That's a good throw by Jared Goff. 3 for 41 already for the Sun God. Community reference. Someone got it. Thank you. Bro, that looked like a pick. It did, but he got it in there. 9, 10 or more 10 plus yard plays for the Lions. Only one for the 49ers. There's Gibbs with another one. Gibbs is in. Touchdown. The Lions are running riot. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Another big play. Look at this chip on Bosa right here. And just wide open. And then, again, making him look silly, as Gabe is saying. You can't stop him. Open field. You grab nothing but air. Electric. The Lions have taken the bull by the horns. It's 21-7. Community is a goated show. One of my all-time favorites, I gotta say. Easily a top 5 comedy for me all time. Right up there with Arrested Development. Great show. How about the Lions? 21-7. 5:54 remaining here in the second quarter. Man. Henry saying, man, this is freaking awesome. The Lions have become America's team. Dude, if it's a Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl, I would wager that probably 99.8% of the population will be riding with the Lions. I mean, it would be a cool story. It would be cool. Joel McHale is my favorite Seahawks fan, barely edging out Mina Kimes. He is a Seahawks fan. That's right. He's from Seattle, isn't he? Seattle guy, big Seahawks guy. He was on the Manning cast not that long ago, I want to say. I've made a huge mistake. I think first 3 seasons of Arrested Development, all-time favorite comedy. Seasons 4 and 5 we don't talk about. Thanks a lot, Netflix. But seasons 1 through 3, one of the greatest television watching experiences you can ever get. Maybe ever. Oh. First and last game of the season is Lions-Chiefs. Very, very possible. Absolutely. Gabe's saying that's so stupid. I wonder what that is a reference to, because what we're seeing on the field right now is not stupid, at least for the Lions' perspective, right? Or it's like, that's so stupid isn't like, that's stupid crazy. Stupid cool. Oh my gosh. We might, well, I don't want to say that because I would feel terrible if I jinxed the Lions. So you know what? I'm going to keep my mouth shut. 21-7. 21-7. Purdy has been shaky so far. I gotta say. I gotta say, he has been shaky. 7 for 13, 93 yards and a pick. Like, this would probably be a different game if they had, I mean, I don't know, like Kirk, you know. But you gotta play the hand you've been dealt. They made their bed, you know. Man. Ain't trying to jinx the Lions, hence the question mark. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of game left. Oh, it's popping at Ford Field right now. See, I see this watch party at Ford Field, and I feel like that Squidward watching SpongeBob and Patrick meme, where it's like, man, why can't that be us? Oh, that should be me going nuts at US Bank Stadium, you know? One day, man. One day. If the Lions can get to the NFC Championship game, so can we. I mean, I say that. I've seen the Vikings make the NFC Championship game twice in my lifetime, right? So, I don't even want to be like, oh, I've had it just as hard as the Lions. No, but it's pretty close. I don't know what I'm talking about. Lions are making the Sea Lions fans proud. Oh, yeah. I feel like most of the NFC is backing the Lions here. Absolutely. Gabe saying, Rutrow Greenlaw, man, I missed it. Is he like out for the game or something? It did not look good when he went out. Helped the Seahawks get into the playoffs last year. Yeah, that's right. That was a crazy day. Purdy. Ugh. Pass was behind CMC. Anzalone came crashing downhill. It has just been very shaky through the air so far. The 49ers have hit a few nice plays, a few nice passes, but this Lions pass rush has been whooping the 49ers offensive line. Whew. Legally obligated to root for the Lions. Oh, he just threw a temper tantrum. Woof. Well, you got to keep a cool head, right? It's still only a 2-score game. There's a lot of ball game left. You've been in this spot before. You got to keep a cool head if you're Dre Greenlaw. CMC, nothing. 3rd and long again. And guess what the Lions can do? They can send the house if they want to. They can bring more pressure. Dude, look at this. Look at this rookie class. Gibbs, Laporta, Campbell, Brian Branch. Man. I mean, this is a very good draft. 3rd and 10. Purdy. Pocket collapsing again. He has to get out. Throws on the run. A wobbler. And it's dropped. Ayuk had it, but he couldn't make the diving catch. And it's a 3 and out for the Niners. Man, like, even when Purdy's able to create a little bit, like, they just have not been in sync, and the throw wasn't the greatest, and Ayuk had to lay out for that one. It almost looked like it was going to Kittle. Like, it has not looked good so far. The Purdy haters are winning the war right now, absolutely. Steven Ruiz is going to pop a bottle of champagne if this score holds. Punt for the 49ers. Almost blocked. And a few yards out of the return. Oh my gosh, he tried to hurdle. There's Charlie Warner. I have driven through Charlie Warner's hometown many times, actually, on the way to Harris. Gabe saying, love your brother. Had 2 classes with him at UGA. Oh, that's wholesome. I love him too. Just texted him. Let's go. Maybe we can get him in here. Man, the Lions have the ball back, up 2 scores. You just keep doing what you're doing, right? Goff has been playing well. He's been kept mostly clean. He hasn't made really any mistakes. He's only been sacked once. And, I mean, you've got 3 guys with more than 30 rushing yards. The Lions as a team already have 113 yards on the ground. They have 1 more carry than the 49ers, but they're outgaining them by whatever the difference between these 2 numbers are. CMC's 10 for 29. Like, this is a very stout run defense, and the 49ers are going to kind of be forced to become one-dimensional. Not a spot that they're used to being in. For as much as I've talked about the Lions don't want to go down, well, the 49ers haven't really had to play from behind that much this year, and they're also a team that's just built to kind of run the ball a little bit, and they have a lot of offensive firepower. But, I mean, obviously, no team wants to be down 14, but it's a tough spot to be in. And the Lions, here's what I'll say without like jinxing anything or speaking definitively. The Lions are probably, and this is going to sound ironic considering the history of the Lions, but this Lions team right here is probably one of the top teams that I would trust to protect a lead because of how they can run the ball so well and just grind stuff out. And they're not going to get too cute and like mess around. And if they do need to throw and pick up like a 5 yards on 3rd down and 5, Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Laporta, Reynolds, like one of those guys can go and do it. Like this is a terrible team to try and come back against. It really is. And we've seen like a few times like that Saints game, the Saints almost came back, but for the most part, like it is a tall order to come back against a team built like this. Gabe saying it might be Taylor Swift versus Eminem, and Jack saying I can't imagine how much the sweet Super Bowl tickets are going to cost with Taylor Swift there. Yeah. Henry does say, I will say the 49ers have the juice to come back and win. Oh, I mean, absolutely, right? All it takes is a few explosive plays. When you've got a Kittle, a Debo, an Ayuk, a CMC, right? They have just as an absurd collection of weapons, if not more absurd than the Lions. They do. But first, they got to stop the bleeding on defense because it's been bad so far. That's their before they even worry about getting things going on offense and keeping Purdy clean and everything else. First, they need to get a stop on defense because they have not really done that yet. Let's see if they can score before half. Yeah. This might be the Lions' last possession of the half. Might be. And right off the bat, they'll go to Montgomery. Why wouldn't they? Right? Like, just it's a free 5 yards. I mean, shoot, depending on how the Lions manage the clock here, they could really whittle the time down and try and score right before half. They could really nullify that possession in hand. Really, the biggest way for the 49ers to capitalize is to try and go twofer. They got to stop the Lions, score quick, and then get the ball back to start the half. That's their path back right now. But first things first, they got to stop them. There's Montgomery again. A free 7 yards. First down. They can control the clock this drive and get a score. They're in a good spot. Oh, they're in a great spot. Go up 3 possessions at halftime. And hey, man, Ben Johnson can come to Seattle too. Yeah, Seattle's in a pretty good spot. They've been patient, and they've kind of got their pick of the litter between the 2 top coordinators. It has kind of paid off for them to be patient. Pretty much all the other vacancies have been filled. Only Washington is left. And 2 of the top guys are still out there. There's Montgomery again. Another run. Like 8-9 yards there. Yeah, I would take either one too. I mean, shoot. Commanders might be busting right now with how much they're watching the Lions offense play. Yeah, they probably are. What is happening right now is a blueprint for why you need to invest in your O-line. Oh, absolutely. Build in the trenches. I mean, look at this. They're kicking tail in the trenches right now. And Henry, as a Falcons fan, I mean, your offensive line is pretty good. Goff over the middle. Check down to Montgomery. And they're in Lions territory. It's a good point. However, it seems like a done deal. I mean, we'll see how these things play out, but Penei, Frank Taylor, and Jonah Jackson, just an insane unit, honestly. I mean, look at the Eagles last year. The Chiefs, their tackles aren't that great, but their interior is insane. The Ravens have a great offensive line. It is extremely hard to win without good line play. It really is. Coaching the Commanders has never seemed more appealing with the new era. Yeah, no more Dan Snyder. It is like a functional organization now. There's Chase Young making an appearance, bringing down Gibbs in the backfield. That might take us to the 2-minute warning. I mean, now even with second down and long, right? If you're the 49ers, you got to start thinking about using your timeouts because the Lions are just letting that clock tick down. They will not run a play here before the 2-minute warning. And you got to think about using your timeouts to leave enough time on the clock if you do get this ball back. Seattle drafted 2 tackles in the 2023 draft, and their offense seems way more consistent in 2022. Yeah, Abe Lucas and Charles Cross, who, if I'm not mistaken, have both been quite good, no? I mean, Seattle's offensive line has been kind of a question mark for a while, but they seem to have shored things up at least a little bit with their young tackles. That was a solid class for tackles. It's been up and down. Evan Neal's been a disaster, which surprised me because he was like the safe pick, right? But Charles Cross has been pretty good. Ike Ekwonu was disappointing this year. I liked him a lot as a rookie, but he was pretty bad this year. The Panthers line in general regressed heavily. Yeah. And the 49ers offensive line is getting bodied right now. They have Trent, and really that's about it. This is not like a few years ago where they had like Alex Mack too and like, you know, Mike McGlinchey. Like, it's not very deep. And yeah, having Trent is good, obviously, right? It's having arguably the best left tackle in the league is a good thing. But you would much rather prioritize the strength of the offensive line as a unit. That's why things like continuity matter, right? I would honestly much rather have 5 average offensive linemen than 1 stud and then a bunch of question marks around him. You can just kind of avoid Trent Williams, you know. Abe Lucas has a knee injury that Could be similar to Todd Gurley's, which is scary, but when Lucas has played, he has been so good. I did not know that, actually. That's interesting. That's like arthritis kind of, right? Or at least like arthritis was like a side effect of it. That was a shame what happened to Todd Gurley. He was electric for those few years, and then the knees just gave out. Man. And now he's not even in the league. Falcons legend, Todd Gurley. This drive is huge because the 49ers get the ball back and score, and then start with the ball and score. Yeah, I mean, that's how they would tie it up. It's 2nd down and 12 from the 49ers 47. I can't help but feel like if it's, let's say it gets to 4th down, which honestly at this point, that is a big hypothetical with how the Lions have been moving the ball. If it gets to 4th down, how long to go would it have to be for the Lions not to go for it here, right? Like 4th and 8? Like, this is probably 4-down territory for Dan Campbell. Well, if they get close enough, they might kick it, but I don't know. Goff with time. Wobbler, incomplete. A rare, well-defended play by the 49ers. And now it's 3rd and long. Look at that. Not often you've seen that for the Lions. They're behind the chains. Can the 49ers take advantage here? If you're the Lions, do you just take some yards here? You don't try and get all 12. Do you try and get like 7 or 8 right here? You might, right? Just like something quick. Gibbs or maybe Amon-Ra. They see something. They're moving guys around. 49ers showing pressure. They drop off. And they run a draw with Gibbs. And Gibbs is going to get it. Oh my gosh. What a play call. I mean, look at that. They've got Sewell again just escorting him. They run a draw on 3rd and 12 and it worked. Oh, man. I want to remember that moment. That's all I'm going to say. I want to say something right now. I don't want to jinx anything, but remember that moment. Goff goes down. Uh-oh. Well, there's Bosa. And now the Niners are going to call their timeouts. That was a big sack. Wow, the 49ers needed that. That's the 2nd of the game for Bosa. He has come to life here. Todd Gurley destroyed us every time. That 2017 Rams team had offensive and defensive player of the year and couldn't even make it to the NFC Championship. Yeah, well, wow, was Aaron Donald defensive player of the year that year? Or was it 2018? Let me think for a sec. Maybe he was. No, I think because he went back to back, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, you're right. That's why Ben Johnson is insane. A field goal would be big here. That Rams team couldn't even win a playoff game. Yeah, they lost to none other than the Atlanta Falcons in the LA Coliseum. I remember watching that game. Pharaoh Cooper. What did he do in that game? I don't remember. I just remember Pharaoh Cooper did something in that game. There's another draw. Gibbs again. This time they're ready for it. They wrap it up. There they are, flying to the ball with the white-hot intensity of the sun. Another timeout for the 49ers. Another 3rd and long. I almost said the Rams. Can the Lions do it again? Game Solved asks, who do you believe is the best quarterback in the NFC? I honestly think it's Matthew Stafford, to be quite honest. I had to think about that for a sec. I'm going through the other options. I really think it's Stafford. I mean, he was unbelievable this year. And last year, think about the past 3 years for Matthew Stafford. He goes to the Rams, instantly wins the Super Bowl, puts up some insane numbers, throws for almost 5,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns. Just unreal. Then last year, he deals with a lot of injuries, and even when he did play, he didn't look that good, but he was clearly limited by injury. And then this year, he comes back and he's insane again. I mean, he's been unreal. Goff, oh, they got another 1st down. It's the sun god. Amon-Ra on 3rd and 18. All right, well, hold that thought about Stafford. Oh my gosh. Wide open. Just hits him in stride. Gets a few extra yards after the catch. Well, forget the field goal. I mean, you should try and punch it in here. And that clock is continuing to go down. Now the 49ers aren't calling timeouts. Honestly, good play right there to run. Keep letting that clock wind down. If you're the Lions, you've got 3 timeouts yourself. You can run that clock down a little bit. You still have 3 chances to stop the clock here, right? Do not give the 49ers any glimmer here to try and score before halftime. That is indeed why Ben Johnson is insane. It's twice now we've said that, but it holds true. And now, are the Lions going to call timeout? I don't know how the Niners plan to stop this Lions offense today. This could go down as a very special drive in the history of the Lions. That's what I'll say. Gabe and any other Lions fans that are watching this right now, I don't know. Sit back and enjoy this one. I mean, that's just a brilliant read by Goff, right? They put the receiver at every level. They've got Laporta short, Amon-Ra middle, and Jameson deep, and he just picks a level. Easy. Oh, so it's an injury timeout. Interesting. 35 seconds remaining here. 2nd and 6. Feels weird. I'm sure it does. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Oh, back to 47 seconds. Okay, there's a lot going on there. So wait, did San Francisco? I am lost. I thought San Francisco only had 1 timeout. Anyways, oh, the clock is running now after the whistle. The Lions will take it either way, right? I mean, just let that clock trickle down. Goff, end zone. Oh, he had him. He had him. Gibbs was open in the end zone. Oh. It was right there. Watch this. Gibbs coming out of the backfield. And he just runs a seam route. He just runs by Fred Warner. No one's on the back end. No one thought Gibbs was going to keep running. And that was a touchdown right there on the table. 3rd and 6, though. They can come back. Try again here. 33 seconds now. Wide open. Easy. St. Brown, 1st down, out of bounds. I mean, how many times have they gone to Amon-Ra now here? On 3rd down. Like, that's at least his third down conversion, right? Goff just locks onto him and he's there. He's got 73 yards and it's not even halftime. Can the Lions capitalize on this drive? Can they punch it in? Me thinks yes. Goff looking for Laporta, incomplete. 24 seconds left now. Gotta try run play here. I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it, to be honest. With all 3 timeouts, you can set yourself up a little bit closer here. And it's been working. It would probably catch them off guard again if you ran another draw with Gibbs. They do have Gibbs in the backfield in shotgun. They do. They run another play with Gibbs. All right. It doesn't work that time, but they have a timeout they can call. 17 seconds left here, 3rd and goal. Now you pretty much ensure that the 49ers can't do anything if they get the ball back here. Goff did grow up in California. Yeah, went to Cal. Now here he is in the Bay Area, trying to get back to the Super Bowl. All right. 3rd and goal. What have you got cooked for me, Ben? This has been a 15-play drive. Oh, Gibbs went down early. And he's going to be tackled short. All right. Lions will call timeout again. They take the points, right? Yeah, I could have been an NFL coach. So true, man. You know, maybe the Seahawks should hire you, right? Go take Pete Carroll's spot. Gabe saying, honestly, take the 3. Yeah, because if you get the 3 right, you're still up 3 possessions either way. I would probably take the 3 here too. But this is Dan Campbell we're talking about. I don't know that I agree with this. I do like being aggressive and going for it, but it makes sense to go up 3 scores, right? Like in a situation like this, that difference of 4 points doesn't mean quite as much. Okay, now they're going to bring the kicker out. Man, they cut to Jared Goff on the field for a sec, and I was like, there is no shot that they're keeping their offense out for this. Exactly. Just make it a 3-score game. Got the money badger out there. You feel very good if you can go into the locker room at halftime up 3 scores. This is a gimme. This is an old-fashioned extra point, essentially. Isn't it crazy? The extra point used to be this. Like, that used to be the PAT. Yeah, you're right, Jack. Going for it doesn't make too much of a difference in the current situation, and not converting is terrible. Well, they made the right call. Dan Campbell got talked down the ledge there. It is 24-7, folks, and we're almost at halftime. I get the sense the 49ers will probably just knee it here, right? I would be shocked if they tried anything, because 7 seconds, realistically, you'd have time for 1 play. And even then, like, you might have to score on that 1 play. It would be hard to run a play in 7 seconds. Well, I guess it would be hard to run a play in 6 seconds where you can get into field goal range. Even with your 1 timeout. Like, the play itself would probably take 7 seconds. And with how your offensive line has been getting bullied, I mean, you worry, like, something terrible could happen. Come on, Brock, make another stupid pass and give the Lions another score. Well, he might in the second half, but I would be shocked if they tried anything here before halftime. There's Brad Holmes up in a suite. Executive of the year, potentially. They're just going to return it. I mean, I guess, right? That's probably your best chance is to pop a return. There he goes. Oh, there's a flag down. Also, the clock just ran out. Yeah. Well, that's probably not going to stand if I had to guess. There's boos coming out from the 49er faithful. Refs are talking about something. CJ Gardner-Johnson pick 6 incoming. Could you imagine? Yeah, holding. Return's not even going to count. They're going to put 2 seconds on the clock, though. Sure. We'll just get a kneel here and take it into halftime. Folks, the Detroit Lions are a half away from the Super Bowl. I just want you to think about that for a second. Regardless of what happens here in the second half, just think about that. Any Lions fans in here? I want you to enjoy this halftime. Just drink it all in. The job is not finished, I get that, but no matter what happens, just appreciate this moment right here. 24-7 at halftime. And it's the Lions up on top. I'm speechless. Jack saying that guy deserves to feel pain wearing a Fred Warner jersey. I'm just seeing it now. Burying his head in his hands. I've been there many a times. Many a times. Well, halftime stats are pretty good for the Lions, if I say so. They have 148 rushing yards at halftime. They're outgaining the 49ers on the ground by 110 yards. Montgomery, 9 for 60. Gibbs, 11 for 46. And Jamo with a 42-yard touchdown run. Goff, 13 for 20. 145. No touchdowns, no picks. 2 sacks. Amon-Ra's been feasting. Laporta's been good. Sacks. They don't have any sacks, but they might as well have like 3 because they have been just dominating. Their pass rush has been unbelievable. It has not mattered one bit that the 49ers receivers outmatched the Lions secondary. It has not mattered one bit because they are getting to the quarterback and making him forcing him into mistakes. Purdy has been beyond shaky. I mean, he's completing less than 50% of his passes. He has a pick. And honestly, it has not looked very pretty. And the 49ers run game has kind of been taken away a little bit. Gabe saying, hey, Eric, could you look up the last 3 draft classes for the Detroit Lions for me? You know what? Your wish is my command. Let's look at some Lions draft classes, shall we? Let's take a look at how Brad Holmes has done. Let's start in 2021, and I don't know if you remember this. Well, you remember that I was in Georgia for the draft, but I remember a certain conversation we had about how I said, you know what? The Lions are building it the right way. I like how they're building through the trenches. Remember seeing the videos of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell just absolutely broing out in the war room, giving each other hugs and body slamming each other when they got Sewell and stuff. I mean, Sewell, Aleem McNeil, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Derek Barnes, all massive hits. Melifonwu has been solid too. And Onwuzurike, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I haven't heard a ton about him. But this was a hit. Honestly, this was a hit. Considering he was the 101st pick, Amon-Ra in round 4 is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't think anyone saw him becoming this good, but good Lord. And then Derek Barnes has been a solid pick for a 4th rounder, right? If you can find guys that are still on the roster a few years later in the 4th round, that's pretty good. And then they followed that up by going Hutchinson at 2, which has proved to be a very good pick. Jameson at 12. Gee, I wonder who was responsible for that one. That, all things considered, has been a solid pick. He hasn't quite lived up to the hype yet, but he has a touchdown in the NFC Championship game, so none of that really matters. Josh Pascal, I could not tell you a thing about him, to be honest. Kirby Joseph, that has been a good pick. He's been a pretty good player. Malcolm Rodriguez has been very good. James Houston, when he's healthy, he's been very good. And then this year, Jahmyr Gibbs. We laughed. We slapped our knees. We pointed and laughed. He's been good. Jack Campbell's been a little spotty, but it hasn't really mattered that much. I don't know. He could get better. I don't think he's bad, but Laporta, best tight end in the class. That one went against conventional wisdom too, because a lot of people didn't have him graded as the top guy, but here he is, somehow being amazing. Brian Branch, who somehow fell to the 2nd round when he was seen as a 1st rounder by everyone. How have they done this? They can't keep getting away with it. Oh. And mind you, Like, you know what makes me a little upset? And again, like whatever, I'm a Vikings fan and I'm bitter and I'm jealous and I'm obviously very happy for the Lions, but there's a part of me that watches this and gets sad because again, I think this should be us and everything revolves around my team. But it's just it's not stupid. I mean, it's brilliant work by the Lions, but like they trade TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson goes on to break out a little bit more with the Vikings, but it doesn't matter because they get a guy who's been just as good, if not better. They replace him like it's nothing. And all of a sudden, here we are, like, yeah, we got TJ, but like, Sam Laporta is like just as good. Ugh. The Lions have kind of fleeced the Vikings a few times, to be honest. I will admit, like they have kind of the Lions have kind of dunked on us recently. We're the joke of the North now. We are. It's tough. Whatever. Anyways, Jack says the Lions and Seahawks have been so similar. They both draft super well. It's just the Lions have competent coaches. Yeah, Seattle's been drafting pretty well too. They kind of turned it around the last few years. They had a terrible dry spell of bad drafts, but they've turned it back on a little bit. And their draft class this year has looked pretty solid. Shane Waldron and Clint Hurt will not be missed. Yeah. Shane Waldron's with the Bears now. Where did you guys just fire Clint Hurt, or is he going somewhere else? And then I will never advocate for trading up in a position that has such a short lifespan like running back, but Gibbs is a stud. I will say, to play devil's advocate, yes, but if you look at the Lions, right, they view their window as for like the next 5 years. Maybe, I mean, shoot, for all we know, Gibbs might not get a second contract with them, but they don't really care about that right now because Gibbs has been so good out of the box. Like, you almost have to treat the draft like free agency a little bit with how good some of these young players are. You can absolutely draft to win now, and I think that's what the Gibbs pick was, and the Laporta pick. And even though those positions aren't seen as premiums in the draft, they viewed those as needs and that would put their team over the top, and here they are, a half away from the Super Bowl. Gabe says, good thing they traded back. I will never forget, the Vikings were on the clock at 12, and I saw the trade flash up, and I saw that we traded all the way back to 32, and I stormed into my room for like 2 minutes. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I genuinely don't know what the Vikings are going to do this offseason. It is honestly a tough spot to be in. I don't have a good answer, and obviously I'm not a GM. I'm not supposed to have an answer, but there's no real clear path. I don't know what we're going to do, man. Every other team has such a bright future, and here we are in no man's land for like the 5th year in a row. What can you do? At least we're competitive. At least we're not like the Panthers or anything, right? At least we have our first round pick. Imagine if the Lions took Jalen Carter, how different this team would have looked. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it would have looked different. I honestly think Gibbs has made more impact than Jalen Carter would. I don't know. Like, they have Aleem McNeil. Like, their front is pretty solid. And Jalen Carter was pretty good this year. But he hasn't quite been like the game changer, all-pro, out-of-the-box level player that some people thought he would be. He has a lower snap count still. He did get like 6.5 sacks, which is solid, but I don't know. I think that Gibbs over Carter was a perfectly fine pick with the benefit of hindsight now. They would not have Gibbs. I mean, they would have had to find someone else to bring that extra dimension in the running game, right? As good as Montgomery has been, and as much as people like to say running backs don't matter, dude, watch Jahmyr Gibbs and tell me running backs don't matter. Right? Like, watch CMC and tell me running backs don't matter. These two teams have prioritized the running back position, and they're playing for a trip to the Super Bowl. Watch a season of Ty Chandler and Alexander Madison split carries and tell me running backs don't matter. Jalen Carter really about to win Defensive Rookie of the Year over Devon Witherspoon, who made the Pro Bowl and was the PFF Defensive Rookie of the Year. I honestly would take Witherspoon over Carter. I would also take like Kobe Turner over Jalen Carter. I think Carter might win because he has a high enough profile, and it's not even like he was bad for the Eagles. Like, he did have a pretty good season, but I don't know. Like, He was all right. 6 sacks. Okay. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know. There was a lot of like, he's going to be an elite pass rusher day one. Like, he's going to, like, there was like Aaron Donald light comps. And it's like, you do realize even Aaron Donald light, that's like 10 to 13 sacks a year. Like, those were like some of Aaron Donald's prime years. But we're talking about a dude that had 20 sacks as a defensive tackle. And like, I don't know. He has been good for the Eagles, and maybe he'll continue to get better, and their defensive front is their strength. I'm not even saying Jalen Carter of the Eagles was a bad pick, but I remember at the time, man. Do you remember that Eagles draft when they got Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and everyone's like, Howie Roseman did it again. Oh, all hail Howie Roseman. The Eagles are going to be good for the next 50 years if they keep drafting Georgia players. I don't know. I'm not particularly fond of the Eagles. I'm not a big Philly sports enjoyer. I do kind of like the Phillies though, but I have my own personal reasons for that. The Phillies is just funny. I don't know. The Philly fans are just annoying in general though, and that transcends all sports. People don't want to have the Kalijah Cansey conversation yet, but the doctor knew. Cansey is literally better than Carter. He is! Thank you guys! I have receipts. I have texts that I can bring up. Yeah. They got Baker Mayfield. Jalen Carter also has blood on his hands. Well, there is that. That's a very tricky situation to navigate. Yeah. Jalen Carter is... Oh, I already read that one. Oh, broke equipment during training camp. He's going to win. Yeah, I do think that Jalen Carter might win it, but I would put him at like 4 or 5 on my ballot. Hopefully the second half will start here soon. I think it's about that time, right? The Niners will start with the ball. Monty has more tread on his tires. Yeah. He's been around for a while, and they gave him a shorter deal, right? Was it 2 or 3 years? I mean, it's not like they gave him an absolute bag, you know. Will Anderson has been quite good. I don't know how I forgot about Will Anderson. Yeah. Wouldn't be mad if Will Anderson wins. Will Anderson is like the big fundamental, you know. He is just such a polished, mature player for a rookie. And, you know, people worried about maybe he has a lower ceiling because he's not like a complete freak athlete like Tyree Wilson. Remember that? Or like a Myles Garrett or anything. But you know what? Will Anderson was pretty good. I guess he only had 7 sacks, but he was like up there for win rate and pressures. And he does not look like a rookie on tape. He looks like a dude that's been in the league for like 6 years now. I like Will Anderson's game. He might not ever turn into a superstar, but he's a good pass rusher. He is. Completely unbiased Hawks fan. I want Spoon to win. Spoon was good this year. He was. And that was like a head-scratching pick for some people, but Devon Witherspoon has turned into a nice player. 3 years, 16 for Montgomery. That's not terrible. That's not bad. Carter is stinky. You know what? Because that math is hard. That's less than $8 million a year. That's less than $7 million a year. Wait. That's about a little over $5 million a year. I was eventually gonna get there. Von Witherspoon wasn't even on my draft radar, and now he's one of my favorite players. He is a dog. I mean, he's not afraid to mix it up. He's a great blitzer. I love the attitude he plays with. And if I'm not mistaken, the Lions really wanted him, right? He was the guy that the Lions wanted. Could you imagine if the Lions had him? Man, that would be a secondary with a lot of bark and bite. JSN about to have a breakout year next year. He showed a lot of flashes, right? That catch against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, unbelievable. And that one against the 49ers on Thanksgiving, he has shown plenty of flashes. Ohio State receivers just have such an insanely high hit rate. He does have a lot of desirable skills in today's NFL. He's such a good separator. He shows a little bit of juice after the catch. He didn't explode this year, but he was also, you know, like the 3rd receiver on the depth chart. I've heard rumors that Tyler Lockett might be gone, and then JSN will take over and step into his own a little bit more. I mean, and it's crazy because rookie wide receivers are just so good now, right? Like, even a few years ago, 63 for 628 and 4 touchdowns would have been seen as a very promising rookie year. But now, like, he flew under the radar because you've just got all these insane rookie receivers. But he's a good player. I think he'll stick around in the league for a long time. Witherspoon is like a combination of all the LOB members. He can hit like Cam, cover like Sherman, has the attitude of ET3. Dude, I loved Earl Thomas before he went like absolutely insane. Like before he went off his rocker. He was like the glue that really held together the LOB. The fact that they could just play single high with him and have Cam in the box. Like he is like Ed Reed level center fielder. He is unbelievable. That's who the Lions wanted to take at 6, Witherspoon. They would have tried to take Gibbs with 18. I'm happy it fell the way it did. Oh, you can't complain. First play for the 49ers here, starting off the second half. It's a run with CMC. Positive gain. Tom Rinaldi talking on my screen now. Man, if you're the 49ers, you better have something cooked up here coming out of halftime, right? Show me what you got, Kyle. Show me why you're the best coach in the league. Show me the offensive genius within. Run with McCaffrey, set up play action. Deep shot crosser, there's Debo. Look at that. That is out of all the plays that Kyle Shanahan calls, that is the Kyle Shanahaniest. Play action, deep crossing route. Attack that middle of the field. He will do that for as long as he is a coach. Good start here for the 49ers coming out of the half. Gabe saying, oh, baby. Oh, boy, actually. And Jack saying, I miss Cam Chancellor so much. He was the silent assassin. I loved him. Purdy, fake, Debo, breaks a tackle. That's what he can do. Maybe the best player in the league after the catch. I mean, when he gets the ball in his hands, that's when the real fun starts. He's another guy. I love the attitude he plays with. He stands on business, as the kids would say. As if I'm not a kid, but 3 straight positive plays here for the 49ers. The NFL's meta. Yes, sir. Look at that. Appreciate the shout out right there. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Ben Johnson isn't a Shanahan guy, but he runs a similar enough offense where they run a lot of motion, a lot of play action. I mean, it makes sense, right, considering how good Goff was with McVay. This, however, is not ideal. They try a reverse with Debo, and the Lions stayed home. Take him down for a loss. Sorry, but Cam Sutton is kind of bad. He is something. The Lions give him a lot of tough assignments, too. You can't even blame it all on him. Like, they really do ask a lot out of him. And sometimes you're just going to get beat. Sometimes I think they put too much on his plate. And that's why I've been an Aaron Glenn hater. I don't hate Aaron Glenn, obviously. But sometimes I was like, do you really want to treat Cam Sutton like he's Sauce Gardner? Maybe you should do something a little better. Purdy! Oh, what a catch! Oh, my goodness! Unbelievable! What a catch! Ho, ho, ho! That play looked dead in the water. He OBJ'd it. Oh, they needed that. Oh, my goodness. Ho, 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 ho. That keeps their drive alive. Keeps a lot of their hopes alive. I know that's not Ray McCloud in the game now. They'll give it back to McCaffrey. Not a whole lot. I remember when Debo was a rookie, they loved using him in bubble screens, and he was so electric. Yeah, I mean, he is a rookie. As a rookie, he had a pretty good season. Like almost 1,000 receiving yards. And then 2021, he just really took over, and the rest has been history. Aaron Glenn can't believe it. I don't blame him. I mean, what do? You flushed Purdy out of the pocket. You made him throw across his body to the other side of the field while rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback, and the dude just made a sick catch. Here comes the pressure. Purdy is going to float it. Oh, my goodness. I hope he tried to throw that one away because that was nearly a disaster. 49ers should bring back JaMycal Hasty and give him the ball every play. That's a name. Is he still with the Jaguars? I remember JaMycal Hasty. The strawberry and the nutmeg. I remember getting a lot of JaMycal Hasty rookie cards back in the day when we'd go searching for packs. All right, 3rd and 8. 49ers can't afford to get a negative play here. Purdy down the middle. Overthrew him. And Jennings looked like he was hurt. I think he's just upset. Maybe he's limping. Well, the 49ers can cut it to a 2-score game here with a field goal. But, man, you really wanted to set the tone with a touchdown if you're San Francisco. And it's not like Moody has been automatic either. He's already missed one. He's been very shaky this year. So, this kick is not a gimme by any means. It's a bit shorter, I think. But I would be nervous if I was a 49ers fan. This is a 43-yarder. No way he misses again, right? Okay, he drilled that one. It is back to a 2-score game now, which helps the 49ers. Now here's the real test. Can the 49ers defense do something? Because they have not done anything at all. I mean, they've gotten one stop, right? Let's take a look. I believe they've only actually stopped them once. Touchdown, punt, and that was still like a 7-play drive. Touchdown, and then field goal, which was nearly a touchdown. They have had no answers so far. So we are about to see now what sort of adjustments they've made at halftime. Maybe this is a spot where you wish you had DeMeco Ryans still, because Steve Wilks has been all right as their defensive coordinator, but there's just been something missing from this 49ers defense that they had with DeMeco Ryans or Robert Saleh. And it's now or never for them to figure things out, right? This running game has been a problem all year, and they're getting picked apart on the ground and through the air. So what can you do? Game solved saying Hasty's on the Patriots currently. I did not know that. Interesting. They should let Dante Pettis return every kick. Gabe says, I still don't feel like good. I mean, I get it, right? Years and years of the Lions have probably conditioned you to feel that, you know. I get that. There's a lot of game left. It is a 2-score game, so it's not insurmountable by any means. However, I think if the Lions come out on this next drive, let's say they march right down and score another touchdown, then you start to feel good because they gained 4 points in this exchange, right? And it just, if San Francisco continues to not be able to stop you, you feel good. Now, let's say the 49ers come out here and force a punt. Then you think, oh, snap. Maybe they figured something out at halftime. Maybe they rallied the troops and we're going to be in for a tight finish. But if it's more of the same here in the second half, you start to feel a lot better. But this might be a game-defining drive to see right here how the 49ers defense responds. We'll see. We'll see, man. I know we're up 14, but I still can't process that we might go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy feeling, ain't it? Jack saying, I still have nightmares of Saleh as the Niners defensive coordinator. Man, he was like the Diego Simeone of the NFL, the way he would run around and pump his fist. He got so animated on the sidelines, and he just ran this killer defense that no one wanted to play against. Good times. And now he's struggling to get something going with the Jets, and their quarterback getting hurt certainly didn't help, but the Jets were a circus this year, to say the least. All right, here we go. Big drive right here. I know it's early, right? We're barely into the third quarter, but the 49ers got to show me something if I'm going to have any faith in them coming back, because it is 10-24 right now. And it's 2 scores, but man, like, in order to come back, you got to stop them. So let's see what the Lions have cooked up here too, because they'll have definitely made adjustments of their own. It's not like they're just going to do nothing. They're going to shift into I formation here. Look at that. And call play action. And there's Laporta wide open. And it's a big gain. Oh, Ben Johnson, you master. You mastermind. change formations at the line of scrimmage, and then run play action off of that to your tight end. That's diabolical. 49ers are 7-11 in the conference championship game, including a 2-game losing streak. Woof. I know a thing or two about that. Laporta, 5 for 61. Toss, Montgomery. And look at that. Like it looks like it's not going to pop for much, but they still get like 5-6 yards out of that. That probably brings down his yards per carry a little bit. Jack asking, who's the Lions defensive coordinator? That would be Aaron Glenn, who has been getting some interviews for head coach. I will tell you what, he says he's contained the Niners so far. No, my opinion on Aaron Glenn has gone up tremendously from this playoff run. Going into the playoffs, I was terrified because the Lions, that's going to be neutral zone infraction. Yeah, that's a first down. But my problem with Aaron Glenn was the defense they were running, at least from what I saw a lot in the regular season. It was just a lot of man coverage, not too many wrinkles or anything. They tried to just play like straight up like we're better than you defense, despite not having like the most loaded unit there is. And it's just really hard to do on a down-to-down basis. And I saw Nick Mullins throw for like almost a combined 800 yards against the Lions. And I thought, oh man, this could be bad. And like, why are teams interviewing Aaron Glenn? I don't know what happened, but that man has turned it on in the playoffs. They've been dialing up good blitzes. I mean, they've been just nasty against the run. They've been good against the run all season. But when they can get pressure like this, their secondary doesn't matter as much. So he has done a good job in this postseason, and I owe Aaron Glenn an apology. I was not familiar with your game. Jack says, I'll never forget when I learned that the encroachment offsides and neutral zone infraction were all different things. Dude, I still don't fully understand all that. There's so much terminology and all that good stuff. Another run for Montgomery. First down. Shocker. Gabe asks, in your opinion, who is the MVP of this Lions team? I personally say Amon-Ra. Jack says Amon-Ra. Well, I'll give an offensive and a defensive MVP because actually the first guy that came to mind for me, most valuable player, I might argue Aiden Hutchinson because he is kind of the key to this whole defense, right? He is their big-time pass rusher. He's the leader of the charge. He plays the run very well. He is like the guy that separates this Lions defense from being like a major liability and gives them a higher ceiling, as that one is just out of the reach of Laporta, right? Like Amon-Ra is awesome. He's a monster. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He's Goff's go-to guy in big situations. But they have so many other weapons. Like let's say Amon-Ra got hurt. Yeah, it would be different for the Lions, but they're a run-first offense. They can go to Laporta. They can go to Gibbs through the air. They can go to Josh Reynolds. So I definitely don't hate the Amon-Ra. I think you could say maybe he's their offensive MVP. I might argue Aiden Hutchinson, though. I honestly think he is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest difference maker on this Lions team. I don't know. But he has been their big player when it's mattered most. I mean, he's the guy that iced the game against the Rams, right? He's been a killer on third down here tonight. Like, he is very good. Dude, like, Amon-Ra is insane. He is like a supercharged Keenan Allen. I just found that out right now, and I'm literally in the league. Good point. They need a few more yards for field goal. Run it here. Oh, never mind. That works. 3rd and 4. All right. What do you got? They run it with Amon-Ra. And they're short. They're going to go for this 110%, right? Even though if you kick the field goal, you bring it back to a 3-score game, it cancels out the 49ers field goal. But man, 4th and 2 where you're at right now and with a touchdown and how demoralizing that would be. Michael's in here. How's it going, Michael? Good to have you in here. Saying Lions MVP is Dan Skipper hands down or on his tummy. All right, 4th down. Oh, man, the anti-4th down people are going to have a field day if the Lions don't get this. This is a big play right here. They're going to snap it. Yep, all right. And Goff escapes, fires, And it's dropped. Oh no. It's dropped. In and out of the hands of Josh Reynolds. Uh-oh. It was there. Oh no. Oh my gosh. We have a game. Kind of. Kind of. See, I still hesitate to say that though because it took the Lions dropping a pass on 4th and 2 from the 49ers 28 for the Niners to get a stop. That's what it took. Like, it's not like the Niners are just like, oh, they just played better than the Lions and stopped them. They got extremely lucky right there. Like, it was right there. And I, like, taking the 3-score lead, man, I mean, obviously with the benefit of hindsight now, yeah, maybe they should have just taken the 3-score lead. That might come back to hurt them now. The rationale is like, if they get it, they take more time off the clock. I mean, there's under 7 minutes left now here in the third quarter already. And if they go up by 21, right, then it would be a 3-touchdown lead. But it would be a 3-score lead no matter what. The points were right there, and let the questioning commence. I mean, it was right there. And the Lions probably think, well, we'll probably get back into the spot. But, oh, man, the discourse is going to be fascinating. Let's say, and I still would not give this very high odds of happening. Let's say the 49ers come back and win this game. Oh, are people going to point their fingers at this? And maybe fairly so, because it was a very risky decision. The points were there, and they didn't take it. The 49ers have a pulse. They still need to find their rhythm on offense, though. It's not like things have been coming easy for them on offense. Like, they've had a few solid-looking drives, but a touchdown and a field goal attempt. That's what they've mustered so far. But it is still a 2-score game. Yeah. Maybe they did big brain that one a little bit too much. Gabe saying take the 3-score lead. If you get the 3, the Niners need 3 scores to tie or take the lead. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, we'll see how this next drive goes. All right. What a beautiful sunset. Oh my gosh. All right. 49ers, what have you got? This is your chance right here. You need to capitalize on this. You have been given a lifeline. There's Debo on a little swing pass. Debo breaking tackles. Here come the Niners. Uh-oh. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Goff got pressured a little bit, but I mean, he threw a pretty good ball. That is a tough catch for Reynolds, but you expect him to make that. Oh, now we got a guy down for the Lions. Now they have juice. The entire team has juice. I mean, if momentum is real, we might be seeing it on full display right here. Michael's saying, just wear a diaper before some of these games. I'll give them an alert and say, put them on and be ready to roll. MCDC. Yeah, I forgot about that quote. That's right. You know what? Dan Campbell is never going to change, for better or worse. He is going to be the most aggressive son of a gun there is. Jack says, football is a momentum-based game, and if you take the points, there's an L for the Niners. And it's Kirby Joseph who's hurt. You know, that is tough. It is. I don't mean that in like a snarky way. Like, it just sucks seeing guys get hurt. Even though, like, I know there's probably some people out there right now as Purdy's going to try a deep shot. And did Ayuk catch that off the bounce? Are you kidding me? We'll see about the flag, but Brandon Ayuk, are you insane? What was that? That's probably PI on the defense, right? Oh, it hit him, and Ayuk still caught it. And was he down? I don't know that he was down. I don't know that he got touched down. Makes the catch, rolls. No foul. The play is going to stand regardless. Oh my gosh, what a catch. Oh, Parker saying what a catch. That is one of the craziest catches that we will ever see. Off the face mask of Vildor. And Ayuk somehow keeps his concentration. So his knee does hit the ground right there. Oh my goodness. Everyone is going to say Purdy balled out. Purdy's got plot armor. Oh, yeah. Touched him. All right, 1st and goal now for the 49ers. They need to punch this in. They just got a gift from the football gods. And he's stuffed. McCaffrey going nowhere. When that was a stupid throw. It was a pretty silly throw. He just kind of blindly chucked it up. Sometimes the wackiness happens. Purdy will give you a wacky ride. Can he give this team a wacky ride into the Super Bowl? Oh my gosh. All right, 2nd down and goal. About 6 yards to go, along 6. They need to score. Like, they need to punch this in. They cannot take the 3. Fired tight coverage, nothing. Man, Gabe saying, got to take the 3 points. This is why you take the 3 points. No one on this Lions coaching staff has really been here before. They are going to be themselves to a fault, right? They are never going to change. This is a big 3rd down here, though, because I feel like this is 4 down. Now, I say this is 4 down territory. For Kyle Shanahan, they might be a team that actually takes the points here. But that wouldn't make a ton of sense because they'd still be down 2 scores. They do kind of need a touchdown here. 3 doesn't do you a lot of good. Purdy, end zone, caught, Ayuk, touchdown. Oh, boy. Folks, get ready. Here we go. Here we go. Brandon Ayuk, what a clean route on Sutton. Man, I mean, it's just a tough assignment to be on almost on an island with Ayuk, and the safety comes over late. Touchdown, 49ers, game on. We'll see about the extra point. And it's good. It is a 7-point game. Oh my gosh. After one of the most zany gonzo catches you will ever see. Brandon Ayuk, a few plays later, finds the end zone. The 49er faithful rejoice. They have a reason to cheer again. And it's a 1-score game. Gabe saying, uh-oh, Cam Sutton, you got to fire Cam Sutton into the moon. It's been a tough game for him. It has. Niners are really going to win this game. I've seen this story before, Jack says. We'll see, man. There's still a lot of game left. I'm assuming you're referring to the 2014 NFC Championship game if you've seen this story before. Because I quite enjoyed that story, if that's what you're talking about. I quite enjoyed that story a lot. Oh, I was happy as can be. 13 years old. Oh, man. Well, I guess I was 14, actually, because it was the 2014 season. It was in 2015. I was in 8th grade. Oh, I was a happy man after that Seahawks-Packers game. Oh, goodness gracious. What an insane sequence from the failed 4th down on the drop. Then the Lions drop an interception that falls into the lap of Brandon Ayuk. And somehow the 49ers have clawed their way back in. Oh my gosh. I need some water after that. I mean, their biggest play was like just a wacky catch. Absolutely insane. Purdy now up to 210. 8.8 yards per attempt. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. It's been a wild ride for him, though. It has. I would say Goff has for sure been the better quarterback in this game so far. Here you go, though. Lions, you got knocked down a little bit. Can you get back up, right? Like the offense has been good, like I said. Even that last drive, like the only reason that they didn't quote-unquote succeed is because they chose to go for it. And even then, the play they drew up worked. It was just a dropped pass. Like, we still really have yet to see the 49ers defense stop this Lions offense. And that might be what this game comes down to, honestly. Can the 49ers get a few stops here? Gabe saying, low-key, weirdly, I'm at peace. I haven't been jumping up and down. I haven't been freaking out. I have just been vibing. Yeah? Oh, I guess it's just going to... Okay. That would have almost been another wacky play. It was like driven right at the returner. Is that Craig Reynolds, I think? Jack says, well, the Lions, all they got to do is score this drive to regain momentum. They still do have the lead. I mean, yeah, let's say they even a field goal here. That's back to a 2-score game, right? Like, you're still leading. You have the ball. And, I mean, they're showing the total yards in this half, but that's a bit misleading. The 49ers have had 2 drives to 1 here. And a lot of those yards came off of that wacky catch. The crowd is getting back into it now, though. The crowd needed this shot of life. There's Gibbs, and he's stuffed. Oh, the ball came out! The ball came out! It's 49ers football! Impossible! Oh, my goodness! Eric Armstead fell on it. And the 49ers have taken over deep into Lions territory. Is that ball out? And, yep, ripped away. Oh, my gosh. What is going on? Fumble recovered by the 49ers. Ball is out. How quirky. All right. Well, here we go. 49ers take over at the 24. They'll start swing to Kittle. We haven't really seen him today. Lions ready for that one. And like Cam Sutton with a nice play. Nice little tackle on Kittle. Was that Kittle's first target? Yep. No, second target. He has 1 catch for -1 yards now. 2 targets for Kittle. Parker says, oh, how the turntables. Great quote right there from another great show, The Office. Yes, The Office is good. Some people will try and have a hot take and tell you otherwise, but... 2nd and 11. Purdy, clean pocket. Now he'll escape. Collapsed. There's the mobility of Purdy. Purdy still running. Trucking through Debo. Down inside the 5. Oh, man. There's the mobility of Brock Purdy. Maybe the most underrated aspect of his game. I tell you what, that is one of the things that he does best, is he can run a little bit. Pocket collapses. He steps up, takes off, and runs. And just like that, the 49ers are inside the 5. We are seeing something stunning. It is now 1st down and goal from the 4. End around to Debo. Cutting up field. Still churning. Just short of the pylon. And man, we've seen some fumbles near the goal line recently. You got to be careful with that ball. They tried, Alex Anzalone tried to punch it out right there, it looks like. Jack saying how one dumb decision has changed the game for the worse. You know, that might be a little point that we go back to, depending on how this game plays out. That decision to go for it on 4th and 2. Handoff. CMC, touchdown 49ers. extra point away from a tie game. In the blink of an eye. Just like that. The 49ers are back up in it. With a little bit of luck and a fourth down failure, we have what is likely to be a tie game. And I say that. I don't know. I get nervous every time Moody kicks, to be honest. It's the Vikings fan in me. Splits the uprights. We're tied. Michael saying Brock Purdy is him and Joe Burrow is not. Spoken like a true Steelers fan. Sorry, I smudged up my glasses a little bit. Well, the 49ers have erased the deficit. And now it's on the Lions to respond. Now they have really been knocked down. I said that last drive was going to be big. It barely even started. They immediately fumbled. Now, you have to get something here. Gabe says, I guess that is just Michigan giving back to Moody so his field goal doesn't affect us not taking the 3. That is one way to look at it, right? We are seeing something stunning here. And you know what? I think both teams might actually hit the 30s. So we're going to see some points. This has been just absolutely insane. (24-24). If you're the Lions, you got to calm things down here and get a few first downs. I mean, but like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but outside of the fumble and the turnover on downs, you've been unstoppable on offense. Don't go away from what's been working. Don't panic now that the 49ers have tied it back up, right? This is still your game to win. Go out there, run the ball again. Don't go away from the run just because you fumbled. They have not been able to stop it. Parker asks, have you seen the photo of Eminem flicking off the 49ers fans? No, I have not, actually, but that sounds pretty intriguing. I might like to see a picture of that later. Gabe says, momentum went bye-bye, and the Chiefs aren't going to make these mistakes. Jack says, Eminem is my spirit animal. And Gabe says, just tells me Patrick Mahomes is going to get his 3rd Super Bowl. Ugh. There's a lot of game left, and we still got to play that game too. I get it. I'm trying to be the level head here right now, right? I've been in your shoes many a times, and it is so easy to give in to the doomer voice inside of you. I have done it many a times. But I'm here to tell you that the game is tied right now. You're about to get the ball back. And yeah, you make a very good point. I'd rather be tied 24-24 with the ball than 24-24 without the ball. Exactly. The crowd is loud. It is a party now inside of Levi's. Good job on the broadcast team to let the crowd speak. We still got 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Touchback. Here come the Lions. We are about to learn a lot about the Detroit Lions, folks. Let's see this Detroit grit. It's crazy how the score went from 17-point lead to a tie ball game in 5 minutes. It is. 1st and 10. Crowd now in full throat, as Al Michaels would say. Montgomery, nothing. They go back to the run. The 49ers stopping the run now. Chase Young getting home. What do you do now? Greg Olsen talking about right now, you want to settle down and maybe run, but you don't want to get into a shell. I get that, but the running game has been working. You don't want to just abandon it either. That's what's gotten you into this spot. They're going to come out here and shotgun 2nd and 10. I mean, 2nd and 10, that is a passing down. Here comes Bosa around the edge, and Did he catch that? That would have been an unbelievable grab by Laporta. They're going to say the ball hit the ground, and it's 3rd and 10. Laporta had it, took a big shot right there. It comes out, and yeah, oh, that's a little close. I think it did hit the ground, though. That looked close for a sec, but all right, 3rd down and 10. Again, this is like maybe the second time this whole game that the Lions have been in a spot like this. I smell pressure here from the 49ers. Maybe a Fred Warner blitz. Oh, well, they're going to call it off. They do rush Greenlaw late. Wide open. It's dropped again by Reynolds. Oh, no. It's dropped again, and it's a 3 and out. Oh, it was there. Wide open down the middle. Just a simple dig route. It was right there. Easy, at least 12 yards. Jack saying, what are they doing? I can't watch this anymore. And the 49ers are going to get the ball back. Tie game, and we're not even in the 4th. That is a bomb of a punt. Oh my goodness, what a kick. Oh, he downed it at the 1. Or are they going to call it a touchback? Oh, it's a touchback. That would have been one of the greatest punts I've ever seen. Yeah. Oh, that was almost incredible special teams play. Oh my gosh. This game has given us a little bit of everything. You know, I feel like a real football fan knowing immediately that this is the touchback signal, right? Like, that's got to be a good feeling. Like, if you're watching a game with a group of friends and, like, all of a sudden you see the ref do, it's like, oh, touchback. Like, you immediately know that, you know? Well, where do we go from here? I mean, whew, boy. Jack says the Lions went back to being the Lions. That's certainly how it appears to be right now. It's a tie game. We'll see. We'll see. I am not going to call it either way. What a game this has been. We got 10 people in here too. I gotta say, this has been a nice little audience. We've got a very active chat. This has been a very good Championship Sunday. 2 fantastic games. I mean, we are getting treated to some great football. People will try and tell you this is the worst NFL season ever. No, there's no such thing. This has been a football feast today. I don't think, as a neutral. Now, I get some people might have strong rooting interests. And yes, there is one team that I would prefer to win over the other. But overall, as a overall neutral, I'm enjoying this a lot. I mean, this has been fantastic football. Let's enjoy this now, because you know what? We're gonna be just like sitting around on a random Sunday in June, and the draft and free agency are done, and it's gonna stink. We're gonna be like, what do we do on Sunday? Like, I think May and June is when I miss football the most, because the draft and free agency are done, and like, it's just like OTAs and training camp hasn't even started yet. I mean, that is the dog days right there. Like, I love baseball, but man, when baseball's the only sport that's on, it's like, ugh. I do like baseball, though. Hopefully the Twins can be good again this year. Although the Twins are like, you know what? Best season in a long time. Yeah, we're just not going to do anything about it. We're going to decrease our payroll. Back to football, though. Enough Twins talk. Purdy escapes. Got to throw it away. Oh, what a catch by Juszczyk. Unbelievable. That's the most versatile player on the 49ers right there. Show me another fullback that makes that catch. Tony toe tap. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Michael says, heck of a play by Purdy. That was a little Mahomey. What an unbelievable throw and catch. That's a first down. McCaffrey cuts it back on the zone run. Still going. Looked like a zone run. Maybe they'll show a replay and I was wrong. The 49ers do still run a lot of zone runs, but something that Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay have done is they've switched it up. They run a lot more power, a lot more gap scheme now. They don't just strictly run zone. That's something that's a slight beef that I have with the Dolphins, actually. They, as much as I love a good zone run, that's like almost all they do, and they just cannot pick up tough yards. I'll give my Dolphins take another day, but I've been teasing it for a while now. McCaffrey again, cutting up the middle. First down. Gabe saying, dude, it's so over. That's why I never let myself get hype. Relatable. Well, they can take it into the fourth quarter if they want to. Play clock and game clock are separated by like half a second. Jack says, I could have made that play with my eyes closed. Same. Maybe they will run a play. They're lining up to run one. Nah, they're not going to snap it. This is all just eyewash. They're having Juszczyk run around and everything. Yeah. Fourth quarter. Tie game. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. Here we go. We've got 15 minutes left in the NFC Championship. Who's going to punch their ticket to Vegas? I honestly don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, we got Eric R in here. Welcome back to the stream, Eric. Good to have you in here. Saying I want to root for the Lions, but I think about that the Lions might win a Super Bowl before us. I mean, it would be a little sad, right? It's like, oh man, you know, but it would be great for them, obviously, right? They've got a starving fan base and city, and this is their shot right here. They've got 15 minutes left to make this shot count. We'll see. We'll see. You know what? I talked about this. Yes, we got another Vikings fan in here. I feel like I've seen you in here before. All right, good. I'm not alone. We need more Vikings fans in here. Jack says, put me at QB for the Niners, and I'll coast to the Super Bowl by giving it to one of the 5 All-Pro players on that offense. I mean, it is a charmed life being quarterback of the 49ers. I will say that. Honestly, this 49ers team, with their skill players and Kyle Shanahan, like, it is one of the easiest setups I've ever seen for a quarterback. I will absolutely give you that. I'll just hide behind Trent Williams. Not a bad plan. All right, let's get back to the game. Bank of North Dakota commercial. Gabe has already given up in the group chat. It's a fun season. Fix the defense next year and try it again. Salt overload. Little brotherly banter here. I love it. I stand with Brock Purdy. You know what? Maybe he is being carried by his team. But you know what? Maybe that's okay. They're 15 minutes away from the Super Bowl. At what point does it not matter? That's my Brock Purdy take. Maybe he is an average quarterback getting propped up. But it might not matter. We'll see. We'll see. There's still 15 minutes left in this game, and then they'd have to take care of big bad Mahomes should they win this. And the big bad Chiefs defense, might I add. I mean, that Chiefs defense played out of their minds today. They won them that game. All right. Oh. Falcons fans, look away from that graphic. All right. 1st and 10. Debo is going to somehow get a yard out of that. Not quite a yard, but he looked dead to rights there, and he somehow squeezed out and at least fell forward. Ayuk missed his block right there. Don't see that too often. Brandon Ayuk has quietly developed into one of the best blocking receivers in the league. Do y'all remember? I think it was against the Lions, was it not? Week 1 of the 2021 season. Everyone had Brandon Ayuk as their breakout player. And then he puts up a big fat 0 catches for 0 yards week 1. And he just like was put in the doghouse by Kyle Shanahan because he wasn't blocking. And you know what? Give Ayuk credit because he took that to heart. He put in the work, and he is a fantastic blocker now. There's Kittle wide open. Kittle rumbling forward. Big hitter. Oh, here we go. I mean, what do you do if you're the Lions secondary and you see Kittle lined up behind Debo? Kittle gets a free release and just breaks outside, and it's easy. First down. Jackson, Brock Purdy's just playoff Lamar Jackson with a white mask on. Lamar played well. I feel like Lamar played well enough, especially in that second half. That interception was rough, but there's McCaffrey going forward for 4 or 5. And Lamar also went off last week against the Texans. He beat the can't get out of the divisional round allegations, you know? He's no longer the Joel Embiid of the NFL. I'm sure Lamar Jackson would also play a game in Denver, unlike Joel Embiid. 2nd and 6. Play clock is kind of going down. The 49ers got to hurry here. Are they going to have to waste a timeout? Oh, I don't like calling a timeout there. You might need that later. You should have just been ready to run the play. I don't like that. I don't like that. Henry saying, man, I am so depressed right now. It's not looking good. But, again, I mean, you got to cling to the idea, right, that there's a lot of game left. I will say it's not looking good, though. I don't like calling a timeout right there. We'll see if that ends up mattering in the end. But remember, a few weeks ago, the Rams had to call some timeouts early, and that ended up costing them the game against the Lions. Purdy with a little bit of time, and now he'll escape, and here he goes running again. First down, Brock Purdy head first. Let's watch this play back. He has a few seconds. Look at him. Nice little move right there. Get that first down. Look at the head first dive to get the extra yard. Brock Purdy really thinks he's Daniel Jones. Playoff Daniel Jones is elite. I would know. Henry saying, I feel like whatever team I'm rooting for just crumbles away leads. Oh. Tough life being a Falcons fan. I totally get that. Purdy, play action. He's got time. He's still looking. He's got to get rid of that ball, and down he goes. And a big sack for the Lions. Get something positive, right? Something, anything. Purdy probably held on to that ball a little bit too long. You got to make up your mind if you're going to run, if you're going to throw it away. He kept looking. And I don't hate the idea of, like, let's have some faith in one of my guys to get open. Kittle looked like he might have been open. He would have had to, like, catch that and then make a guy miss. That is a big loss of 7, though. Purdy probably did hold on to that ball beat too long. That is a play Jimmy would have thrown that away. But Jimmy also would not have had some of these runs that Purdy has had. You've seen the difference now. Oh, and he's going to run into a sack. Lions back-to-back sacks. All right, well, hold on here. Maybe they can minimize the damage on this drive. Jack saying, man, how did Purdy not see that guy coming in on his blind side? Is he stupid? Yeah, he missed. He did not feel the pressure fully there. And that's something that, like, a Jimmy or a Kirk, you know, if Kyle Shanahan had his way, would have probably gotten rid of that. But 3rd and 20 now. I mean, you don't want to be greedy if you're the 49ers and try and go for it all here, especially after giving up back-to-back sacks. Kyle Shanahan will probably play this one safe. Yep, dump off to Debo. And a good job to slow Debo down right there by Kirby Joseph. Man, it looked like Debo might have broken away for a sec, and Kirby didn't even bring him down, but he slowed him down enough that the rest of the Lions could rally to him. That is a big stop right there to hold him to 3. or at least an attempt for 3. Again, I'm not going to act like any of these field goals are automatically going in. But that is a big stand right there down in the red zone. Bend but don't break. That is how the Lions have kind of made their money on defense this season. Even when they've let teams move the ball on them, they've teed up in the red zone. 33-yard attempt here for Moody. And he got it. And the 49ers lead. They take the 3. Oh, absolutely, Eric. Yep, take the 3. Some big sacks from this Lions defense. And that's going to give them the lead, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been much, much worse. If you're the Lions now, you gotta settle the nerves on offense. A couple of drives have not quite gone your way recently. Some drops. You had the fumble. But, man, Michael saying, Brock Purdy, you have an MVP in your future. Oh, here we go. We got a little back and forth between the brothers. A little debate going on. All I'm going to say is that Drew Lock would have dropped 50 on the Lions by now. And he would have been rapping on the sideline, too. Oh, man. Well, if you're the Lions, I don't know. The running game has not looked quite as strong here now in the second half. Maybe do you put the ball in Goff's hands a little bit more? Do you let Goff and the receivers cook some? Because that was working in the first half. They haven't really thrown the ball much here in the second half. They've also just, barely had the ball. Right, they had the 3 and out in the, or not the 3 and out, the turnover on downs. They had a turnover on downs. They had a 1-play fumble and then a 3 and out. That's it. They have not held the ball much. They're probably getting beat in time of possession. Yes, not by much, though. But I'm sure the 49ers... Well, maybe the 49ers haven't run more plays. It's even. 55 apiece. Man, Drew Lock is better than, everyone. I will say that Drew Lock game against the Eagles was a lot of fun. Oh, I enjoyed that game. Oh, it's going to come down to the end, man. It really is. Been a long commercial break. Fox has got to get their advertising money in. I don't know. I'm still not fully convinced that the 49ers win this game. I could see the Lions pulling this one out. Everything has been coming up 49ers way, but couldn't you just see one of those win probability charts where goes down here and then the Lions shoot back up at the end? Remember, the Lions have the power of friendship on their side. Oh man, that was my theory. Is you know what? Dude, I had the Rams favored so heavily over the Lions in that wild card game. I was like, the Rams are red hot. Matthew Stafford is seeing the game in 4 dimensions right now. Their offense is so good. It's such a bad matchup for the Lions defense. But you know what? The Lions had the power of friendship, and they were able to win that game. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Big. This is like a contract drive right here for Jared Goff, potentially. I mean, this is for the Super Bowl. This ain't Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Well, this is Detroit, potentially in the Super Bowl. Got to right the ship right here. Henry says, agree, it's not over. Stopping the bleeding with that red zone stop was massive. Oh, absolutely. What do they got on offense? Goff, play action, deep shot, and, oh, is it caught by Jameson? It is. He dropped it nearly into the arms of the 49ers, but he was able to recover it. Oh, that was nearly an interception, but instead it's a big gain. Oh, man. He was able to recover. Wow. Look at Jameson on a crossing route. Just beats him over the middle. Oh, man. We've seen 2 Gonzo catches now. 1 for each team. That's crazy. Jameson should have definitely just caught that one to begin with, though. Here comes Montgomery taking it to the outside. Look, see? The Lions' offense is still here. They had the drops and the fumble. That's about it, though. They can keep running that ball. They're going to show Josh Reynolds. Oh, look at that block on Chase Young. Whoo. All right, look at that. They're already deep into 40. Well, not deep, but they're into 49ers territory. They're about in field goal range already. Just like that. The Lions offense might be back. Oh, it's a flea flicker. Goff is going to go deep. Looking for Jameson. Oh, it was there. They wanted it all. They wanted the lead back. Oh, look at that little block and release like he's a tight end. And look, he has him beat. Going up against, is that Ambry Thomas, I think? JMO has a step on him. Good job by, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who 27 is off the top of my head, but good job by him to recover and make it a tighter window at the end. If Goff throws that a half a second earlier, that might be a touchdown. And now Ambry Thomas is down. Henry says that should have been a PI, TBH. Jack saying, nah, it was a good no call. I don't know. That's tough. It's tough to throw a flag at this spot in the season. I don't know. I might have to see that one back. Jack saying his ability to catch the ball was not impeded. I'd have to watch that one back personally. I was just so wrapped. Oh, man. But that was crazy. If Goff threw that maybe a half a second earlier, that might have been a touchdown because Williams had a clear step. And if he just puts that ball towards the back corner of the end zone, there is no one there. And him just holding that ball for that extra half beat gave time for the 49ers safety to recover, get over there, and make it a tighter window. And Jameson still maybe could have caught that, but it would have been a tough catch. The play was there, though. The play worked as drawn up. That one is kind of on Goff a little bit. That's a throw that like Stafford makes and Goff might not, you know. But this is not even Goff slander. Like Goff has been great today, and he is a good quarterback. But sometimes you don't hit those type of level throws as consistently with Jared Goff as your quarterback. I respect the guts to go for it all though there, right? The flea flicker, you're going to try and take a deep shot. You can come back now and it's still 2nd and 10 and you are at the San Francisco 37. So, man. All right, let's get back to the game. I don't care about the Pro Bowl. You know, the flag football dimension was kind of fun. I think that was a good move. Right? Just make the Pro Bowl fun. Also, let's bring the Pro Bowl back to Hawaii, shall we? But the Pro Bowl is the last thing I'm thinking about right now. I get it. You got to push your product, though, NFL. All I'm going to say is I don't see Brock Purdy playing defense, so he just sucks. Oh, they will not rest until Brock Purdy has been eliminated. Oh, yeah, I don't mind the no call there. Jameson still definitely could have caught that. All right, 2nd and 10. Got to come back with something here, though. You don't want to find yourself in 3rd and 10. Maybe a run, dare I say? Nope, they're going to pass. And, oh, he missed him. He had Gibbs there for a solid chunk. And there you go. It's 3rd and 10. Oh. And Gibbs has juice after the catch where that could have been a bigger play. He could have made a guy miss maybe. Made him look silly. He leads the league in that stat. 3rd down and 10. See, this is what I'm talking about. Contract drive for Jared Goff right here, right? Lions have to make a big financial decision on him soon. 3rd down and 10 in the NFC Championship game. Can you get this play done right here? 49ers bring an extra rusher. And it's out to Amon-Ra. And he's tackled short of the sticks. And now you've got a massive decision awaiting. Now you probably take the points right after what happened last time. You try and tie this game back up. But this is Dan Campbell we're talking about. I don't know. The offense is still out there. Oh, they're going to go for it. They are going to go for it. And conversations will be had depending on how this play goes. They are going for it on 4th down with a chance to tie the game. I don't know. Statistically speaking, they'll probably get it, but I don't know. They're going. Here comes the pressure. Goff flushed out, and it's incomplete. Oh, no. And the 49ers take over holding a 3-point lead. And you know what? I said that I sometimes like to watch football like a 50-year-old dad, but I am more open to the idea of like going for it on fourth down and being aggressive. I tell you what though, anyone like over the age of 40 watching this game right now was like, I told you so. This is why you don't go. I will say the first one, I was on the fence. It's like, okay, I get going for it. This one, I don't agree with as much. You had the chance to tie the game. You just gave the ball back now. Oh, man. The diapers are being filled in Detroit right now. Oh, no. Here comes McCaffrey for a big run. The 49ers have the lead now. They can try and salt this game away. If the 49ers score a touchdown here, that's probably your ball game. I agree with you, Henry. Normally, I'm an advocate for being aggressive and going for it on fourth down. I don't know about that one. That one just might have cost him a trip to the Super Bowl. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. We'll see if that wound is enough to pierce their heart. Purdy, boot play action. First down, Debo. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Conversations will be had. And you know what? For as much flack as people have given Kyle Shanahan for being a lot more conservative and being the kind of guy that would take the 3 there, the juxtaposition has been fascinating to watch play out in front of our eyes. Toss, McCaffrey. And he gets maybe a yard. This is a call that they are going to talk about for a long time. And I wonder like what ESPN's analytics model would have as far as the win probability goes, right? And there are going to be people that try and argue it's the right call. This is where I draw the line though. I would say 9 times out of 10, I would agree and be like, yeah, going for it is good. Be aggressive. But when you're down 3 in a spot like this, you just cannot leave that up to chance, especially after you failed the last time. Like, you just can't do that. There's CMC. And it'll make it 3rd and about medium, right? And so this is a big 3rd down. I mean, if the line's going to get the stop, the 49ers will not go for it unless it's like 4th and inches. But if it's 4th and 4, I honestly don't think they would go for it. That's just not how they operate. This is a big play in this game. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that, but oh man, what a game this has been. Debo in the backfield. Purdy is going to get the first down with his legs, and he's still going, and he dives forward head first. Brock Purdy, with the game on the line, just got maybe the biggest first down of his life. Not bad for a system quarterback. Wow. 51 rushing yards. 49ers now in Lions territory. Field goal helps, but you want the touchdown here. And they're taking that play clock all the way down to 1. There's McCaffrey breaking a tackle, racing towards the end zone. Can he get in? He's down to the 2. And the sea of red and gold is losing their minds. He shrugs one guy off and he just keeps going. Look at the blocking by Kittle. Again, just dominating, setting the edge. Juszczyk helping downfield. The 49ers are about 3 yards away from a monumental touchdown. Can they punch it in? And they're going to give it to Elijah Mitchell, and he burrows his way into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. It's a 2-score game with 3:02 on the clock. Man, the tale of two halves. 27 points here for the 49ers in the second half. And it's Elijah Mitchell up the middle. Extra point to come. Ten-point ball game. What is going on? Jack says, all right, Patrick Mahomes, I need you to beat the Niners for a third time. We might be on our way to a rematch, folks. Michael says, I want to talk with the guy who said Chubby Purdy was more talented than his brother. And Eric says, 2-score game. Uh-oh. We are 3 minutes away from another heartbreak for the Lions, and you can't help but feel bad, man. You can't help but feel terrible. They had it in their hands, and it is slowly but surely being ripped away from them. And they are 3 minutes away from maybe the most crushing defeat in the history of a franchise who's been defined by defeat. Out of all the losses that have stung for the Lions, this one would sting harder than the nest of 1,000 hornets. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left for the Detroit Lions to keep their impossible, storybook, magical season alive. Fasten your diapers, folks. The Lions are going to try and make a miracle happen. Chuba Purdy. There's a second Purdy? I had no idea. Chuba Purdy. Chubba Purdy, maybe. I had no idea. Man. '49ers, they're just saying they've scored on all 5 possessions here in the second half. All right, you got to get points quick. I mean, that's simple as that, man. Here comes the 49ers pressure again. Flushing Goff out. Pass was behind him. Incomplete. You know, there are going to be a lot of fascinating discussions over what to do with Jared Goff this offseason. I really don't know. There's no clear answer. I don't know. We'll see. Goff has time. Short to Gibbs. And a great tackle. And that's Dre Greenlaw. That time is ticking down now. It's third down. 3rd and 6. And again, like I talked about in that Ravens game, like, being in third down is tough because your first priority is the 6 yards, but with the clock working against you, like, you got to get more than just 6. They do get the first there with Laporta. All right, if you're the Lions, you got to run one, maybe if you can really push your limit, 2 plays before the 2-minute warning. There's no way now. No, they're just going to get this play off before the 2-minute warning. Goff over the middle. There's Laporta again. Warner wrestles him down. 2-minute warning. 2 minutes away from elation for the 49ers, and 2 minutes away from the most soul-crushing, heart-snapping, spirit-breaking loss that the Lions may ever suffer. Two minutes left in the NFC Championship game. 10-point game. Lions have the ball at about midfield. All you need is a prayer at this point. To whatever God you believe in, you must pray to your deity that you can pull this off. I'm at a loss of words, to be honest. I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Man. Christine is in here. Welcome to the stream, Christine. Good to see you. Saying, dang, I missed a lot. Oh, did you ever? You have missed what has been one of the most chaotic, unpredictable, zany, off-the-walls, certifiably insane games that I have ever seen. This game has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride that suddenly stops working as you reach the apex of the coaster, only to go backwards, and you do the roller coaster backwards, and you're turned around upside down while going backwards. And then, once you reach the corkscrew, you are suspended in the air as it stops again, only to once again go backwards. That is what this game has been. In a word, it's been crazy. But welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good night. We are about to figure out what the Super Bowl matchup is going to be. And the 49ers are on the doorsteps of making it a repeat. And you know what? You remember this, right? You asked me who I thought was going to be in the Super Bowl. What did I tell you? I said Chiefs and 49ers. Well, I'm 2 minutes away from being right again. But man, who would have thought it would come like this? Although, I will say I said that, but then I also picked the Lions to win at the start of the stream. So really, I'm a fraud. I was wrong. It doesn't count because I changed my pick. Michael says, Eric Tiongson greater than Kevin Burkhardt. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try my best, you know? Michael Doty is also better than Kevin Burkhardt. Well, there's a big shot to Reynolds. You gotta go. If you can save your timeouts, right, and keep them for when you're on defense, that might help. You gotta take a shot at the end zone here, I would think, right? Laporta, well, he does get out of bounds. That helps. Stops the clock. They're in the red zone. They're not gonna go down without a fight. They are not. These are Dan Campbell's Lions. They're going to scratch and claw until the very end and bite a kneecap. Ben Johnson scheming. Might this be the last time he dons the Honolulu blue? First catch of the game for Josh Reynolds. Goff. Bullet. Amon-Ra. First down. You gotta start shooting for the end zone, though. You can't keep throwing short. And as much as you want to save those 3 timeouts, you're looking at getting close to a minute now. I mean, man, like, you gotta score here. You really gotta score here. They're gonna get in. I think he's in. No, they're gonna say he's short. Oh, no. At least he does get out of bounds. But, oh... lowering the shoulder, and his foot is out. Yep, he is short. Yep, he's a yard short. All right, you gotta score here, man. Like, you just have to. You cannot have less than a minute left on the clock. And I know, like, with the 3 timeouts, it's not going to matter or anything. But, man, time is not your enemy. Goff will sprint out right. Nothing's there. Nothing's there. Incomplete. Thrown away. 3rd down and goal now. Greg Olson saying you'd love to run the ball, but you don't want to not get it and then have to burn a timeout. I mean, running the ball would be nice, but you can't really do that. You have to throw for the end zone. Now, if they don't get it, then they could consider kicking the field goal again, finally. And, maybe they should have done that the first few times to make life a little bit easier. But they are going to run it, and they don't get it. They do not get it. Now you can't take the timeout, though, because now it comes down to an onside kick. If you had all 3 timeouts, you could get a 3 and out and get the ball back. Now, by taking that timeout, you have to recover the onside kick. And they're going to go for it. I mean, at this point, regardless, it is, even if they score a touchdown here, it comes down to an onside kick, which has a success rate of maybe 10%. You can't burn that timeout. I really don't agree with that timeout right there. We're splitting hairs maybe, but that was the big thing. It was they had all 3 timeouts. But now it really, and they're gonna go for it anyways, and it's caught. It's caught for a touchdown. Jamison Williams. All right. It is going to come down to an onside kick. But, man, if you saved the timeout, you could give your defense a chance to give you the ball back. You would not have to try the onside kick. Or if you really wanted, you could try the onside kick, right? A first down would end the game either way. You could give yourself that 10% chance to get the ball back. And if you don't get that, then you could still try for the 3 and out. Now they need the onside kick. That is their only option. They have boxed themselves into a very, very low probability play here. I just do not like the calling of that timeout, and that's why. Man, this, you can't even say too much. At the end of the day, I don't know. There are just a few decisions the Lions have made that I don't agree with. And I get, there's a reason that I'm not out there, right? I'm not a coach. And it's not just as simple as, well, don't call the timeout there and stuff. But between that and the decisions to go for it, the Lions really made this a lot harder than they needed to. I don't know. This was not the greatest display of coaching by Dan Campbell. And that's not to discredit any of the work that he's done. He's done an unbelievable job building this culture and putting this team in this spot. But man, he just did not manage the game very well. And this is what it comes down to. A prayer on an onside kick. Now the 49ers are going to call a timeout. Oh, could you imagine if they recover this, though? What if they recover it? What if they recover it? I mean, we've seen some crazy things happen. Brandon Bostic, anyone? Onside kicks in the NFC Championship game. I can think of one that worked. And I will say, if the Lions are able to recover this, they have a lot of time and they will be in good position, right? Because if you recover the onside kick, you're at about midfield, 56 seconds. Let's say they do recover it and then all my points are moot. Then all of a sudden they're in a decent spot to force overtime at the very least, or even go for the win. Am I crazy for thinking they might recover this now? I don't know. I promise I haven't looked at my screen if they did recover it. And, oh, the ball is still out and Kittle falls on it. Oh, every single person in that stadium had a heart attack for a second, but George Kittle saved the day. There's John Lynch, the general manager, down on the sideline and the architect of a team that is about to go back to the Super Bowl. Oh, that was almost perfect. It was in their hands. Oh my gosh. It is a game of inches. And in the words of the late, great, unbelievably legendary Bud Grant, you gotta live with the bounce. So it's illegal touching. I guess it was short of 10 yards. Oh, you could tell they worked on that a lot in practice too. They had it. They almost had it. Crazy idea. The Lions had 3 more points. This game would be tied. Yes, it would, wouldn't it? You could even say if they had 6 more points, they'd be winning by 3. Christine says stress. Unbelievable amount of stress on that kick. I mean, just. This game gave us a little bit of everything for everyone. And it's going to end in heartbreaking fashion. Michael says, I don't think Jack is here anymore, so I will say I feel for Gabe. I do too, man. I feel for all the Lions fans out there. We've got a few Lions fans that are friends of this channel. We got Gabe, we've got Mile Marker, Grace and Truth. It's just a tough, tough scene, man. But these are the Detroit brand new Lions. You know what? This is one of the greatest, if not the greatest season in Lions history. At least in the Super Bowl era, it for sure is. And they're going to hand the ball off. Are we sure about that? I get that the Lions have 2 timeouts, but I guess, okay, take a few seconds off for every run play. Are you sure you want to be running forward, though? I just wouldn't even leave that up to chance. After everything we've seen today, are you absolutely sure you want to hand the ball off there, Kyle? Oh, man. They're going to do it again probably, right? To take more time off the clock? Yeah, look at that. Elijah Mitchell is going to be guarding that ball with his life. Yep, look, he may like die on the field protecting that ball. Like 47 seconds left. And the Lions are out of timeouts. So the 49ers goal is probably to take 7 seconds off the clock, right? Because play clock is 40 seconds. If you can somehow salt away 7 seconds, go down in bounds, you win the game. Or if they even get close to it, like they can just do the whole run around and then punt it through the back of the end zone thing, right? Okay, what do you do here, though? You can't get too cute trying to, like, take time off, right? And... well, there is going to be a second left. There is a second difference. I mean, they'll just, yeah, like Greg Olson is saying, they'll take the snap and then they'll just punt it. Unless they drop the snap on the punt, or it's blocked, or whatever, this one is over. 49ers embracing on the sidelines. Unbelievable. Michael asks, is the NFL scripted, though? No, I don't think so. That would be so hard to pull off, right? I mean, how would... to coordinate that and to not let it leak out or anything, like, an impossible task. Delay of game. All you have to do is snap the ball. There's 1 second. Just need a clean snap And that's it. The knee is down, and Mr. Irrelevant is now relevant. The 49ers are going back to the Super Bowl with the very last pick in the draft, and we're going to be treated to a rematch. It's Chiefs. It's 49ers. It's 2 weeks away. It's the Super Bowl. 27 unanswered points for the 49ers. Got it done. Oh my goodness, what a game. Brock Purdy facing doubts. Is he good enough? Can he do it? He's a system quarterback. He's propped up by his teammates. He's actually not that good. Have you ever considered that maybe, just maybe, it doesn't matter? Maybe, just maybe, this team is good enough anyways. They're going to the Super Bowl. Oh my gosh. What an unbelievable game. And my heart goes out to the Lions. Man, just crushing. This one will sting for a while. I'm not going to be the one to tell you right now to keep your head up and that it was a good season and you should be proud. It will sting. It will hurt. It will suck. You may stare at your wall for the next hour wondering what went wrong. You may randomly think about the failed fourth down 3 weeks from now. You might just need to sit with this one for a while. I get it. One day, you will come around and you will come to appreciate the season for what it is. I know that. But for right now, you must take this on the chest. The 49ers have pulled off the impossible. It looked like all hope was lost for them. They could not stop a nosebleed. Purdy was getting flustered. I'm sure the takes were flying wild on Twitter. I was not on Twitter, but I'm sure that the takes were insane. But at the end of the day, it just did not matter. They found a way to win the game. What an unbelievable conference championship Sunday. And you know what? I think that we're set up for a pretty darn good Super Bowl. Don't let random people on Twitter tell you otherwise. People are going to be, I don't know. The two teams that America wasn't rooting for won. But you know what? I will be enjoying the game 2 weeks from now. Thank you very much. Chiefs versus 49ers. It's a rerun. We've seen this before, but this one is very different. These two teams are beyond different. This is going to be a fascinating matchup that I cannot wait to dive into. But for today, we're just going to let these games rest, and we're going to give them a nice little break. And you know what? I see some of these comments in the chat. Michael saying Eric should play GeoGuessr, just saying. And Christine saying I second this. You know what? It's been a good stream. You guys have been a fantastic audience. I've been loving the chatter. I've been loving the engagement. You guys have earned this. We're going to play a round of GeoGuessr. Let's do this. All right, we're going to shut down the whole setup right here. And you know what? We're going to play a round of GeoGuessr. Let's go. I have my subscription for a reason, right? Let's do this. Let's close out the night with some GeoGuessr. Nah, we're going to do classic maps, right? World. We'll do world. We won't do a time limit, but we'll keep it common sense. Michael's fired up. Let's go. All right, let's do this. We're going to start off. I swear I've gotten this place before. I don't know what flag that is. Tribal art. But that does not look English. Maybe it is. I don't think this is America. This looks to be very European, right? Very narrow street. I'm going to try and move my computer a little bit closer here just so I can see well and still have the mic. And nuts, my charger just got unplugged. Hold on a sec. Lord knows I need it. My computer is hissing at me right now. That thing has been pushed to its limit today. Sorry about that. We'll plug that back in. It's not charging, and it's pretty low on battery, but I think we're going to be able to get a round in before we have to call it a night here. It's only 8:55 too. I don't mind this whole game starting a little bit earlier, but in chat, let me know what you guys are thinking about where I am. This certainly seems to be Europe. I don't know. Jinzu. Okay. Alvo voting. Is this like Belgium or Germany maybe? Because that kind of looks like the German flag, does it not? But there was like a logo on there that made it look like it wasn't quite. Yeah, you see that thing? Like the German flag doesn't have that crest or anything. But I could totally see this being like Germany or something. Oh, hold on. Let's go back. We've got a sign here that'll help us. Can it focus? Saint Pierre, Place de Jeux Ballet. See, this almost looks French though, right? Like maybe this is Belgium. I don't know. They don't really speak French in Belgium though, do they? Relu. That looks extremely French. Coin vert. Okay, so this is definitely French. This is not Germany. Let's tell you that much. What are you guys thinking? I'm feeling somewhere in France right now. Sorte école school. Wait, gang. I'm probably butchering that. Got some more flags up here, and I can't recognize any of them. It's got to be France, right? Excepte. My dad is thinking Belgium. All right. Well, I trust your opinions. You're a very smart guy that's been around the block. You've been to Europe. I could see Belgium, right? Maybe it isn't French. Maybe it's that secret language they speak in Belgium that I just don't know. That flag did look, well, I don't even know, man. I could totally see Belgium, though. I wouldn't hate if it was Belgium because it's a smaller country, so it's a little like less lands to guess. I might go Belgium, honestly. We're going to click a few more times and then we might call it here. Let's see what this sign up here says. Théâtre Les Tanouris. Okay, well. I don't know. We feeling Belgium? I think we'll go Belgium. Again, I'm no Rainbolt by any means, but I'm doing my best here. I do like me some geography. Very narrow streets. Flemish, French, and German are the official languages in Belgium. Okay, that was the one I was thinking of. I know there was like that language that I can never think of. Okay, well, I say let's do it. Let's go for it. Got to be a bigger city, right? I mean, those look. Could this be Brussels? Like, is that the Capitol building? Sure looks pretty majestic. Brussels is the capital, right? Le Reservoir Bar. Hout dog. Oh, hot hoog. Okay, I thought that was like hout dog or something. I'm going to say this is Brussels. Where'd it go? Where is Belgium? There it is. Or it could be like Luxembourg, but we'll go Brussels, near the middle. I mean, this does look to be a quite rather large city. We'll go like right around here. Oh, would you look at that? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Oh, baby. Almost a perfect score. How about that? Oh boy, this could be North Dakota. Honestly. Maybe not North Dakota. I don't know. It's a little green for that. But it is quite flat. As I always say when I play this game, right? Immediately think this is the upper Midwest because it's flat and there just ain't a whole lot out there. We know we're in the United States, right? That friendly little speed limit sign warning you to slow down. See, I'm scared it's actually going to be North Dakota one day, and then I'm not going to get it, and that's going to be extremely embarrassing. Well, that looks to be corn, perhaps. That is a good sign for my upper Midwest theory. See, there's a small part of me. I don't know. This is not it, though. There's a small part of me. There's a stretch. Well, hold on. Wait. That interstate sign. Oh, well, Illinois, sorry, wow. I say Illinois as a joke sometimes, and I let it slip. Could this be like rural Illinois? Or am I being trolled here? Because I've had that happen before. Oh, we've got Tyler in here. How's it going, Tyler? Welcome to the stream. Tyler's saying Idaho. I could see it. Idaho is typically a little more hilly, though. It's not quite as flat. But I do see some of the Idaho vibes. Also, what did this say here? Hold on, let me take a better look at this sign. That doesn't really give us much. 815, I don't know the area code. I know it's not North Dakota, though. North Dakota has only one area code in the whole state, 701. I believe they're the only state that has only one area code. Here we go. Little exit. Oh, okay, yes. So this is definitely Illinois. We kind of know where we are, actually. So we're on I-39 and I-90. So this is a good test of me navigating interstates because sometimes I struggle with that. Where people are like, oh, just take, like in Georgia, they say, like, take that interstate or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or this could be Wisconsin, right? Because they said, like, towards Madison. So it's probably, like, in this area, right? We're looking for 39 and 90. Well, there's 90. And if you take 39 south, it takes you towards Chicago. Well, hold on. Where is I-39? There's I-94, old favorite. Maybe we are in Wisconsin. I could see it, like just outside of Madison. There's 90. Hold on. So if you take I-90 west, that takes you towards Madison, right? Like that's kind of how that works. I struggle with this more than I should. But I-90 doesn't go west. Well, let's find 34 first, or 39, excuse me. Five points. Hey, we have that in Athens. That's where I used to live. Where is 39? There's 41. There's 39. Okay, I-39. And we're looking for 90. Wait, so we'll have to follow this down, right? Yeah, okay. Are we like right around here? Oh. I'm going to just mark this right now for reference. We're going to keep going a little bit. I think I'm on to something. Right? Okay. That takes you towards Madison. If you take this exit right here, right? Well, let's look around. Is this like that kind of exit thing? Is there a Petro Travel Center? Oh, no. Hold on. Shoot. Okay, well, let's see what this sign says. I might have fumbled it. I'm sure there are people that are like, you have the answer. You just don't understand, young one. 39 and 90 towards Chicago. Is that okay? So that's over here, right? Got our nice little exit only. 39 east, 39 south. And also close to 51. Okay, so we're in the wrong spot, I think. Where is 51? There's 51. Hold on. So we are around here. Are we on 51 right now? Oh, it's got to be like up here then, right? Maybe? Sorry, I'm taking a long time on this one because I want to at least do decent. I'll just put a guess down soon. But so there's 51, right? There's 39, and there's 90. So it's got to be like right around here. Are we just outside of Portage? Let's zoom out a tad. Yeah, let's keep going. I feel like because we got to be close to a city, probably. Well, okay, here we go. Illinois 251. Currently, I have this marked in Wisconsin. Maybe we are in Illinois. 251. Man, this is hard. Nah, they're trolling me, right? Like, oh. Didn't it say you're on 137? Maybe. Like, I'm so lost at this point. I don't know. Illinois 251 is in 3 miles? Is that what it says? For someone that uses the interstate a lot, you would think that I'd have a good grasp on how to navigate it with signs, but I really don't. If Google Maps was not around right now, I would be a very, very lost boy on the road. Rock Cut State Park and Rock Cut Equestrian area are nearby. Yeesh. I might just guess around here. I don't really care. Well, I mean, I care, but we're gonna try it. No, it wasn't Illinois. Of course. But you know what? I was close. I can't complain. Of course. Oh well. Not bad. Solid start. And now we look to be immediately, I think, either South America or like Southern Asia. Well, I would say that this... Oh, it's Philippines. Look at that. I was just about to phone a friend and ask my dad if that was Tagalog. I am a poser, unfortunately. But it says Philippines. Honestly, I can see it, right? Very tropical. That's crazy. What if this is Malabon? St. Paul's Academy. All right, my dad can really help me with this one, maybe. So, we've narrowed it down to this. What did that say again? I can... Inabanga, Bohol, this way. Is that a thing? Is that a city? Oh, well, look at that. There's Bohol. Are we on this island? Oh, and there's Ingabaga. So are we like right around here? It's got to be, right? We'll just mark this for now. We'll look a little bit more, but I feel like we already know where we're at. Wow. All right. That's crazy. I have actually never got the Philippines before. Christine says someone get Lolo on the phone. Phone a friend with Lolo. Gino. Oh, let's see. Bible Baptist Mission. So it's got to be, well, Bohol looks to be the island name, right? And then, oh, where'd it go? Right here. So it's got to be like right around here, right? Where is the St. Paul's Academy? Let's just mark this. Oh, we've got to be like right here. Well, let's... Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Elementary school? No way. Where did that go? I just saw an elementary school. South Centennial, right? Oh, that's not it, though. Oh, Gotta be south, right? Man. Where is this Southern Centennial Elementary School? There's an elementary school. There's an elementary school. Shoot. All right, well, we'll keep looking. Hold on, what else did it say? I have no idea. That's great. In all my years of playing this game, I don't think I've ever gotten the Philippines before. Total. Okay, this looks to be a gas station. Okay, here we go. This can help. The market, the municipal hall, and Buena Vista. Oh, municipal hall, right? Well, it doesn't have that name. Shoot. Because that's in Clarín. I think that's how you say it. I could be butchering it. Oh. Buena Vista. Is it like... Oh. In the municipal hall. It's got to be like right around here, right? But are we outside of that? We're like getting into that area now. Is it like right around here? You know what? We're gonna go with like right around here. Christine says central, maybe? Like closer to here? Could be. Because it just says that Buena Vista is like nearby. But I guess it doesn't say. Well, what does this sign say? I'm trying to do at least decent on this one, right? I can't be a disgrace. Well, now we seem to be in the market that they were advertising. Looks to be a newer part of town. Okay, town center. We just need to find the town center. It's got to be like in here then, right? Oh, here's the market. Here's the municipal hall. You were right. It is more central. All right. Like right. You have to go down a little bit. There's, okay. Probably like right around here, I would say. Even further than that south, maybe. No, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Oh, South Central, not Centennial. I struggle to read. Look at that. Look at that. Beauty. Beauty. We're killing it right now. We're doing a great job. I get that I don't have a timer and I'm taking a little bit. But whatever. Alejandro Fernandez. 18th of November. Maybe that's like a campaign sign or something. Certainly seems to be a Spanish name. Looks beautiful here. Got some nice mountains. And I guess we're going towards the mountains and not the signs, which maybe isn't the greatest strategy. But let's catch a vibe real quick. Let's check out the mountains and the jungle. I mean, this could be Mexico potentially, right? There were a lot of mountains like this on my fly over to Mexico. Could you imagine if I got Bucerias? Well, hold on. What does that say? It's tough because it could be Mexico or it could just be like anywhere in Central America, you know. I can't read that very well. I don't know. Was that a cactus? No. Like, there's no way. Like, this could just as easily be like Honduras or Ecuador, you know? I don't know what that says. That doesn't really mean anything to me. Hold on. Thank you for your votes. Wow, they're campaigning a lot. A little bit of a battleground state here. Henry's in here again. It says Rage quit for a bit. We playing GeoGuessr? Yes. Back by popular demand. We're playing a round of GeoGuessr before calling it a night. And you know what? First 3 rounds going pretty well, I gotta say. We're trying to figure out where exactly we are here in Latin America, right? It's gotta be. I mean, this is Spanish, obviously. Oh, I don't know where. See, it's tough. You can't just say Mexico because it might not be. Oh, I don't know, man. Rainbolt would know exactly where we're at. Barbacoa. Oh, what I would do for some barbacoa tacos right now. Hmm. I don't know that this is Mexico. It's like a little too tropical. Well, I don't know about that, but like I could totally see this being like Honduras or Guatemala, you know? Here we go. Come on. It's not saying anything. Give me the answer. Say what country you're running for office in. Just tell me. Oh, this one is tough. Anyone have any ideas? I haven't seen like any flags or anything either, you know? What do you guys think in chat? More barbacoa. I will say the roads in Mexico are kind of like this, where they like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here we go. Hold on. Big billboard. Oh, it's not going to tell us. My computer is getting low. I'm going to have to guess soon. Someone, name a country. What do you think? Michael's thinking Guatemala. I like it. I think we might go Guatemala here. We're racing against the battery. It's not charging. My computer is sounding like a jet ready to take off. I saw something back there, but it wasn't going to give us the answer. It was just a sign. I just don't know, man. I think we're going to go Guatemala here. Is that a BP? I did not know those were international. Oh! And we saw a lot of these in Mexico. Maybe it is Mexico. We did see a lot of those convenience stores. And maybe they're international too. You know what? This gas station has convinced me. This convenience store. We're going to go with like southern Mexico. We'll go fairly tropical, right? We'll go like right around here maybe. Let's do it. Oh, not bad. All right, we'll live with that. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer to the ocean. I guess not, though. That convenience store swayed me. All right, one more. One more. This could be a lot of different places. This could be somewhere in Africa. This could be Australia. Well, that is not English, I'll tell you that. I don't know what language that is, though. Is that Portuguese? Is this Brazil? I see like that the writing like that. Are we in Brazil? Because this does not seem like Portugal. Oh, that's tough because Brazil is such a big country too. I believe it's what the third largest by land size, only behind Russia and Canada. Brazil is massive. Probably is Brazil, right? Oh, they won't let me see. Well, what does this say? Hold on. Let's just verify for sure. Paulinho? Yes, this is Brazil. Wow, we are like in rural Brazil, though. So we can at least narrow it down to this. But look at how big Brazil is. Very daunting. We'll do some more investigating. It looks to be a bit drier out here, right? Based off the redness of the rocks. Well, there's a fair amount of green, but... So we're probably a little bit more inland, right? Probably. Michael saying it's the U.S. I would love to see a place in the United States that has all Portuguese. Ah, come on, give me a clue here. I like that pink house. Very distinct color. Now we're in a bit of a neighborhood, it appears. I don't know, man. This one is tricky. You're in the middle of nowhere in Brazil. I obviously don't read Portuguese beyond well. I can like recognize it, but that's about it. Those years of watching soccer. Dude, there are people that would see those phone numbers and know where we're at based off of the phone numbers. It's crazy. US is the third largest. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm silly. Brazil is fourth then. So it would go Russia, Canada, United States, and then Brazil. Really? I suppose. United States is quite big. I don't know. Oh, is that a strip club? Casa de Gente? Oh, well, gente doesn't mean gentleman. I thought it said gentleman's house for a sec, but that's not what that translates to. Also, I don't speak Portuguese. Primo Cell. Oh, come on. I don't know, man. I'm thinking inland, but a little south. Like right around here, maybe? We'll mark that for now. I'm about to guess soon. This computer's about to die. Yeah. Oh, that one really took me. We'll just give it a shot. We'll see what happens. We'll go right around here in Brazil. Oh. All right, a little further south. That last one was tough. But overall, can't complain. That was a solid round right there. Look at that. I leveled up. All right. That's going to do it from me tonight. I don't really know what else to say. We got a nice round of GeoGuessr in and crazy day of games. I'm going to take the night to digest what exactly I saw here today. Expect to see me again soon. Yeah, we're going to be trying as we get into the off season more to mix up the streams a little bit. We'll figure out how to like put fun twists on stuff, but don't worry. The season may be over soon. We've only got one like game left, which breaks my heart, but I certainly won't be going anywhere. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a blast today. I hope you guys did too. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Tough results, but elation for two teams. Heartbreak for two others. But that's going to do it for me. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, the doctor's out. Y'all take it easy and have a good night.